Welcome to All Gen Gamers, a podcast for people in video games of all generations. Starring Pete Dorr, Happy Console Gamer, Gamester81, and Jason Heine.
So guys, welcome back to All Gen Gamers, episode 83. And I'm not even going to say how excited I am about it, because I think everybody...
Please don't.
I know, every episode I'm like, oh my god. And anyways, we are joined by the incredible, the amazing Pete Dorr. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty swell.
Very enthusiastic as usual. Love that. Mr. EMU Review, how are you doing?
I am fine and dandy.
Holy Jesus. Wow. Gamester.
What a contrast, jeez.
Yeah, I know. What a Gamester's sitting right next to you, and that's another contrast going on right there.
I'm super happy because of that, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm doing great.
Nice. And today we are joined. Oh wait, I got to introduce myself. I'm Johnny Millennium, Happy Console Gamer Show. But we are joined by somebody who, man, what's my build up to this? Because I really want to say a lot. Is somebody who I really respect on YouTube. Somebody who gave me my first shout out on YouTube when I didn't even know what a shout out was. As amazing as that was, I remember this person said, "Hey, I'm plugging your show," and I was like, "What the hell does that mean? Is that something sexual or something?" But we're joined by the incredible Magus X1. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm the Mexican guy that rants about video games and all kinds of stupid bullshit. So
Nice.
It's funny, Magus. It's like me and Pete, and like when we first came onto YouTube. You were the first guy that we saw. And this is, Pete, how many years ago is this? Like 3 years?
4 and a half years ago, something like that, yeah. Because I remember checking out Magus's channel, and I'm like, wow, this guy's got he's famous on YouTube.
Yeah. You had, at that time, I think you just were up to 2,000 subscribers. And I remember thinking, wow, this guy's made it on YouTube. This is, quite an accomplishment. And I listened to every video that you did. And then one day you sent me a message out of the blue. I think we had talked a couple times, and you're like, "Hey, I just gave you a shout out." And I was like, "What the hell is a shout out?" Seriously, isn't that so stupid? I was such a noob to YouTube. I didn't know what that meant. And you plugged my show, and I think I was at like 300 subscribers, and I was like, well, and Magus, I gotta say to you, and I can say to you, here in the real time, is that thank you for that, because it's funny how shout outs are really important for new channels, because it gave me what you did for me, enthused me to keep on going, because I was like, I feel pretty insecure about my show. I don't feel like great. And you're like, "Hey, I love your show, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, wow, really? Somebody likes it. Maybe I should continue. And just want to thank you for that.
no problem. Well, here's the thing about like you guys, you and Pete, and even you, Gamester. And I just started watching your stuff, EMU. And here's the reason why I think you guys are so popular is I find so many of the game reviewers so pretentious, and I'm going to be blunt here, with the stick up their ass with superiority complex, and you guys do not have any of that. I mean, you guys just, you're just passionate about this hobby that we all love.
Yeah.
And I sincerely mean that. And that's why I plugged you and Pete. And what's awesome is that you guys have not changed at all. You're still the same old, Johnny Millennium. You're still Pete Dorr, And Gamester, I've always liked your stuff, although I've never really talked to you. So
thanks, man. I enjoy your stuff too. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks. And EMU, I've been liking your stuff too. So you're the new guy to me. You're the new guy. So.
Oh, it's all good. Appreciate it.
No problem.
It's funny, Magus, because you were around for so long, and I remember that you would have contests back then where I think it was Retro Gamer. See, this is when everybody was starting Retro Gamer 3 and Jumble Junkie. They won a contest. They made some video for you to play Dungeons and Dragons. The Capcom game, with you online, and I was always so excited to watch that video, and you guys never made it. And I remember talking to Jumble. I said, "When are you doing it?" And you kept saying, "Oh, Magus hasn't got in contact with me to do it yet." And I was like, "Oh man, I always wanted to see that video back then."
Well, that would have been a lot of fun, considering how, Tim Jumble Junkie is, he's an insane motherfucker. And, I really wanted to do it. I think we did communicate, but there was just some scheduling conflicts, I think, killed that project. But you know what? If he still wants to do it, why the fuck not, Let's do that.
You know, I'd vote. I'd be in a lineup for that shit, and that's a line from our podcast.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons, Tower of Doom, and for fuck's sakes, let's play Shadow over Mistra. That would be fucking awesome. Let's fucking do it. I'm down with that.
Count me in. I'll be in. Into doing that actually. So here's the thing, Magus. You disappeared for a little bit of time. Like you were on YouTube, and then all of a sudden you said, "Hey guys, I got to go concentrate on my life," and you were gone for like over a year.
Yeah, I got sick for a while, and then I got better, and then I kind of, I got burned out by videos for the longest time. It just, and part of the problem was early on in my, my YouTube career, I guess you could call it, I was making like 6 videos a day at one point. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I remember those times.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why the fuck I did that. So I think I burned myself out, and then I started school and, got really busy. And then I tried to make a comeback last summer, but I had something very bad in my personal life happen. So that discouraged me from a lot of things.
Yeah.
But that was resolved, and and I made a video about the Skyward Sword review that idiot Tom McShay did, and giving a bad review because of his user error. Go figure. I did a video on that, and then a few weeks passed, and I'm also involved in the anime community. You guys know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I made a response about the anime community, and then all of a sudden my love to make videos again came back, and thus I have been back since. So.
Yeah. And let me say, and Magus, I mean this in the most nicest way possible, in a real fun way, is that you are also well known for having like the worst camera on YouTube. And you caused so much controversy about that. Because everybody asked Pete to do a room tour again. Everybody said, "Hey Magus, when are you getting a new camera?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'll get one. I'm getting one next week." Or, "Yeah, I'll get one, but not for the reasons that you think." And there's 1,000 reasons for actually getting one. And I always thought that was part of your show. It wouldn't be a Magus show with a good camera. Like I couldn't handle that.
You know what's funny is people actually like the current camera I have, and ironically enough, the next video, this is gonna, this will probably be posted up before the show comes up.
Yeah.
But my next video will be in high definition. Oh shit!
My God, is it possible?
Magus, no, you can't do that.
That'll
ruin the tradition of the show.
I'll actually be outside my house for that video because I have a iPhone 4S and it has a great high def camera on it. So I might be actually outside of the house. That might destroy my show for you guys. I don't know if I should do it.
Breaking two things with one stone, Magus.
You know what you can do? You can go into the settings and make it more blurrier and add some grain, and everybody will be like, "Oh, it's Magus." Sorry, I didn't know who that was.
Make it look like a snuff film or something. Is that what you're saying, John?
So Magus, here's a chance where you get to plug some of the stuff that you're doing nowadays, because I know you started a new website and a new podcast with who's the other fellow that you're
Alex.
Alex, right?
Yeah. Just a little bit backstory. I've known probably I met him around the time I met you guys. Mm-hmm. And he was running a website called Games and Me at the time.
Right.
And initially Games and Me was kind of like a local group. Mm-hmm. But then he started expanding online, and he got me involved in it, and I joined it, and I had a lot of fun, and it was really a great experience. So we went on, but then, there was a lot of internal drama with Games and Me because we made the mistake of getting too many people involved. And when that starts to happen, people want power and they get stupid over shit. So and there's a lot of other factors. So the website kind of fell apart. And then of course I went on my hiatus, and Alex and I kept in contact, and he's been a very good friend to me, a very, very good friend. And we just decided to do a new podcast. And I got to say, this new podcast is just a hell of a lot of fun. It is just, it's very much like you. We don't really have a format. Mm-hmm. It's me and Alex talking about various subjects, Sometimes it's whole shows of just the stuff we're playing.
Yeah. I remember, actually, Magus, here's something that'll take you back. I remember, I guess you'd call a podcast. Remember when you used to do those episodes on Skype and you put them on YouTube? And I remember you brought me in on a Street Fighter one.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was a really good show. I think that was one of the better panels. you know what the problem with those panels was, and I'm not trying to offend anyone here, was I would bring people who would not say much.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that show was particularly good because I actually think Jumble Junkie was in that show too.
He was. That's not so long ago.
I'm checking it right now. Yeah, Beltino, Dark Scream, Duke Nukem, Happy Console Gamer, and Jumble Junkie.
You know what, Magus? What was so funny about that episode? Sorry, I had to say is that you brought us all in, and I was like, geez, I've never done this before. This is kind of like, I was quite nervous about it, actually. And it's so funny. The question that you brought up was, when was the first time you ever saw Street Fighter 2? And you went around the panel, and you came to me, I think, last, and everybody's like, oh, I played it on the Super Nintendo. That was the first time I saw it. And, and I was getting so upset at that point. I was so happy that it was on YouTube because all these guys had first played Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. Oh, right. And some guys say, I think I saw it once at a mall, but I'm not sure. It was like these ancient relics. And I was like, yeah, I was there. I was there for Street Fighter fucking 1. I remember when I came on. And then I think Marvel vs. Capcom got talked about. And everybody's like, I love that game. I love that game. And I was the first person ever to say, I fucking don't like it.
You know what? You know what? Can I say something to that real quick? Yeah. Back then I actually felt differently for the game. I didn't realize how broken it was till, it was released on Xbox Live and shit, till how broken it was. Because when I played it in the arcade, arcades have this certain energy to them that you kind of, don't notice things like that. Yeah. When you go online, you kind of notice, maybe how broken an old game really is. Mm-hmm. And I really realized how that game is broken. So I'm not a big fan of that game anymore either because of that. So I'm on the same page with you these days on that game. Yeah.
I just thought it was funny that everybody, it was such an unusual first podcast because I felt like I was a polar opposite of everybody. And I thought, geez, maybe I'm being too negative and maybe, and I stayed away from ever doing podcasts after that. I was like, I don't really, I'm just going to do my own videos and talk about my own stuff. So I'm the only person to blame for that. So I don't piss people off too much. But
how many episodes were there?
Magus did a bunch of them, I think.
Yeah, I did a bunch of them. I still do them, actually. There's a on there now, and I'll open up if you ever guys want to. I'll get you guys on my channel. And
definitely, cool. No problem there.
Yeah, I think I know talk something. So,
Magus, I think I know the answer to this, but we ask everybody, what is your favorite video game of all time?
Oh God! Yes, everyone probably knows the answer to this. Xenogears. There's no doubt about it.
Now, here's a controversy that I maybe Pete can answer, maybe you guys can answer. You say Xenogears, I say Xenogears.
I say Xenogears.
Xenogears. And do you know, Magus, the reason why I say Xenogears is from the movie Aliens. Because remember the guy goes, you're looking for a xenomorph? A xeno what?
Yeah.
So I always kind of thought Xeno was kind of that pronounced that way, Xenogears. So.
You know why I call it Xenogears is if you watched that trailer, that trailer that minute trailer that was released for, I think it was on the old Parasite Eve disc. Was also with the fucking demo of that game. It pronounces it Xenogears because it's a real creepy trailer too. I don't know if you guys seen it, but
I did back in the day. I have the Parasite Eve thing, game.
Yeah, it's a fucking creepy ass fucking trailer. Holy crap! So
I have to look that up afterwards. It's not just the opening to Xenogears, no.
No, it's just the trailer. It's really weird because it's hard to describe, but it's kind of it's got a nice cinematic quality to it. I would check it out. So
yeah, nice. Well, it's great to have you on. It's so funny because we have such a history, but we haven't talked in so long. In real time, we've sent messages back and forth, but, type of thing. But, yeah. No, I'm glad you can actually come on and we can actually talk in real time. But I got a few things to announce, like some big news for myself. And I don't know if Gamester or Pete know about this, but on Friday, I got engaged.
Hi, congratulations.
Wow. Congrats.
Wow. Congratulations, buddy.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Are we invited to the wedding or what?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Well,
welcome to married life. Welcome to my world. So
I like it. I'm going to like it. I'm very, very, very happy about it. So it's my big news.
How did you propose?
When? Oh, Friday.
No, how?
Oh, I'll just do the quick version of it. Is that I just came out for dinner and we went, hey guys, I took her back to the place where we, where we went to that, nice restaurant type of thing. And I just asked the manager, I said, that room that we sat in, I said, can you seat people in all the rest of the restaurant and not seat them in there? So he didn't seat anybody in there, which was great. So like, we're talking about 20 seats that were, there's nobody there. So it's a purely huge empty room, except for our table right next to the window. And so, we were in shirt and tie, all that. We got there and we were sitting there. And I was just like, oh my God, like I bought the ring a month ago. I knew I was going to do it. I just was waiting for the right time. And we were sitting there and I'm just like, and Kim's like, oh, what are we going to have? The steak? And I was like, I said, actually, it's something I want to talk to you about, before that. I said, and she's like, oh yeah. And then I said, that's when I just kind of cut into standing up. And she like looks at me like, what? Oh my God. Like, because she actually said to me 2 days before, she's like, oh yeah, so when are we getting married? Like joking to me. And I'm like, oh, I kind of looked at her like, yeah, I'm like, sometime, I'm sure. And she's like, yeah, of course. We have lots of time. There's no rush towards that kind of thing. I thought, well, I'm doing it in like 2 days, or whichever it was. It was pretty funny actually. But so anyways, I proposed and said, will you marry me? And she's like, yes. Cool. And it's like, like no hesitation. And we sat there and we talked like in that position for a long period of time. And then she's like, ask me again. She's like, it just went by too quick. And I'm like, will you marry me? And she's like, yeah. And it's so wonderful is that I got back up and I sat down and then the manager brought in these roses that I had ordered in for her. And they brought in champagne of their own accord, which was unbelievable. And so we, it was really nice. We ordered a bottle of wine. And then all the realities that start setting in is that, she starts phoning her parents and all of this, her relatives and all that. But it was a really nice evening. And then the chef came out of the back and shook both our hands and made us this big dessert, totally on them again. What a great restaurant. And wrote congratulations on the side. So yeah, sorry. It was a big moment for me, like Dr. Love was getting married. Like, that's unbelievable to me. Even I can't get over it, so,
That is so great, Johnny.
Congratulations. I'm really happy for you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I got to say, Gamester, did you know?
No, I didn't know.
I didn't know either. Yeah.
How is
it that I'm the only one that
how
knew?
Did Jason know? Before.
I'm not saying anything, but on my Facebook, when I changed my relationship status to engaged, I've never seen it on Facebook like this before. Because obviously I got a lot of friends on Facebook, but I had 645 people like it.
Wow.
The status change. And I thought, John, that, everybody that would get, people commenting. There was
I never noticed status changes.
Yeah, I don't either, man, to be honest with you. But
like,
when
when
it's
someone's birthday, I don't even know what to look for that when it's someone's birthday.
Yeah.
I'm glad I heard it from you, coming from you before Facebook, to be honest with you. So
that's really cool that you didn't know, actually.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I didn't know when to slip this in, but I thought I'd just slip it in.
I can tell you personally, Johnny, I'm like Magus. I'm married and I enjoy it. It's the best decision I ever made. So I wish you the best of luck. And I know you guys love each other. So that's awesome, man. So
totally.
Dude.
There's a reason why I didn't know you were married on Facebook, because I'm like the only person in the world who does not use Facebook at all.
Why don't you use Facebook?
I don't know. I just don't like it. But it's funny because Alex, and my wife, they keep, Alex, my partner in the podcast, and my wife, they keep bugging. You go, why don't you get a Facebook account? I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Just call it Magus X1, type of thing. And then, it's really easy. It's a really good messaging system. Like we all talk on Facebook. That's how we organize the podcast. That's how we do everything. Pretty much. So,
I don't know. I think part of it was I tried to make an account and I saw all these people from high school that I didn't want to see, so I deleted it within 2 seconds.
Oh, no, you don't need to have them on. You can pick or choose who you want on, who you don't want on, for sure. There's a lot of people that I don't want.
But fuck my high school classmates, so...
Yeah, that's something, either you want some of them on, you don't, that's your choice. That's what's wonderful about it. But no, John, exactly. I was ready to make the decision. I was 100% perfect with the decision. And I feel really fantastic about it. It's kind of weird. You get kind of high from it, don't you?
No, I remember, Johnny, you and I talked when I was up there visiting you a while back. You even kind of mentioned it. And you're like, yeah, I know she's the one, I want to marry her.
Yeah. Did I? Yeah.
Remember that? That was a long time ago, too. You had that feeling.
Was I drinking? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Fun.
I think you might have had some shots. No, I was joking.
Yeah, I had some shots. Yeah.
No, but I could see it in your eyes, and you just know. You have that feeling when you know you have that right one person, and that's awesome, dude. I'm really happy for you guys. So
for sure. And you know what? To be honest with you, dating wise, I'm so fucking glad I'm not doing that anymore. Like,
hey, Johnny, I know last podcast you mentioned that her parents were kind of, unsettled a little bit with you. Like, do they know, or what's the deal with that?
The mother was fantastic about it. The father, his exact words were, "I'm not doing handstands about it." Seriously.
He said that?
I'm taking. Yeah, he said. This is all such a weird, right? So I'm gonna go out with him in about. I think I'm going to take him out for dinner next week and just sit down and be diplomatic. I don't know what they really have against me. They kind of got to get over it. So, and now they really have to get over it. So, not a big deal. But as I'm saying, I'm glad I'm out of the dating scene. I will leave that completely for Jason and Pete to deal with. Have fun, guys.
Yeah, no shit.
I know. It's a tough dating. World out there.
Yeah, it gets to be an old game for sure.
Yeah.
So. Right, man. Well, congrats.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
It's very, very, very cool. And speaking of other incredible things that happened this weekend, I'm not going to steal the thunder away, but Magus, this has been a big event coming on the podcast for a long time.
God,
the biggest event.
All I can say is hell froze over and pigs are flying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is a big deal. Because
Jason, sorry, John. You want to take it, John? You totally do it.
No, it's okay. You're doing great.
I'm doing good. So Magus.
Well, I'm glad that you guys all like my stuff. I don't really think highly of my shit. I really don't. I it's just some Mexican guy ranting about games and stuff. But EMU, I don't know you very well. I hope you like my stuff, though. I don't know if you've seen it, but
no, he said he hated your stuff. He said it to me earlier.
Oh God,
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I have plenty of haters though, because I tend to piss people off. And if you watch my channel this week, I'm not going to go into detail. I pissed quite a few people off this weekend.
But Magus, what I appreciate about your channel, man, you're honest and you speak your mind, and that's kind of a rarity in YouTube. You get people who kind of are, I don't know, are fake essentially, kind of like what you were saying before, and that's what I appreciate about your channel for sure. But
thanks.
But hey, Johnny, Johnny was kind of talking about before with Jason. He watched Lord of the Rings for the first time.
It has happened. I have finally watched it, people. I have watched it.
Wow.
Magus, have you seen Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, I went to see all three of them opening day because I'm a geek like.
But so the backstory, just briefly, because I know we're being a dead horse because we're bringing up every episode.
Well, it's coming to an end. I mean, this is it.
No, it is not.
No, you got
Jason.
Two more.
Listen to
two
Pete.
more movies.
I'm just trying to get Pete all hot and bothered over there. He's getting crazy over there.
No, it's funny though. We went, I came over. Jason live streamed it on his Twitch TV account, the EMU review, and we came over. And this guy honestly had the hookup. He had snacks. He had the snap cam going on. He had, what was that, like onion rings chips or flavored chips?
Yeah, we had onion ring flavored chips. We had
Girl Scout cookies,
taco flavored chips. We had regular chips. We had snacks.
No ketchup chips on it.
No ketchup chips. No.
But no, it was cool, and I got him the beers, and I was kind of his beer bitch for the night because I wanted him to stay in one spot and not go anywhere. He said he had to go to the restroom. I gave him a cup. I said, "Piss in here. You're not leaving."
So I did. It was crazy. He watched. Cool. He held it and everything. Yeah.
I held it. Yeah.
So with The Hobbit coming out this year, I assume you will not be watching The Hobbit till 2022.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Magus. Exactly.
Magus, what you don't realize is we've been bugging Jason literally for like a year to watch The Lord of the Rings.
John has let me borrow his DVDs. It's been about a year.
Yeah. Well, they were dusty. We had some skip issues because they hadn't been played in a while.
Which versions? The extended or the regular? The extended.
Oh, they were the extended.
He was literally extended watching it. He was happy to watch it.
Just so that people actually believe Jason, he live streamed himself, like just the webcam pointing at him and John watching this movie.
Holy shit!
We had to do it in mute because obviously with copyright reasons, you can't even listen to the music or anything like that.
The funny thing was though, some people were watching the movie with you through your webcam. Reflection on the picture frame in the background. That's how I think of my movie with you.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
Internet movie theaters now.
Yeah. So no, it was good times, man, and I'm definitely looking forward to watching the second one this weekend with Jason.
Wait, what?
Okay, so we got to ask, holy fucking shit, Jason, what did you think about this experience?
It was fucking stupid. I'm just kidding. Oh my god. I hope I heard a gasp from like the world right there. No, you know what? And there was a lot of people in the chat room and everyone was asking, "What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?" I don't feel like I'm obligated to say anything except for what I really think. And what I really think is that I thought it was a fantastic movie. Is it in my top, is it in my top 5? Probably not. Is it a movie that, I want to watch?
What, would you watch it again?
Yeah, I would. I would watch it again. I'm more interested to watch the next ones, the second and third one, right? I don't know.
Some people believe, now I'm one of the ones that likes the first one because of the story and the character introductions and everything, but many people believe that it just gets better as the movies go on.
The better bandwagon.
And and I'm hoping that it does because I felt that there was a whole lot of story going on there. And to the scale and the magnitude of this film, you have to do that in the first one. You have to tell the story.
You have to introduce the characters.
You do.
Battle-wise, the battles that took place in the first one, especially at the end of the movie. If you thought that was pretty awesome, you have not seen anything yet.
Well, I found myself like I loved the battle scenes. Of course, being an audio engineer, I loved the sound design. I loved the sound effects. I loved the music. I loved the score. I thought the music was just perfect and fitting. And oh my god, I really did. I thought it was great. I really didn't feel like I'm sitting here for 4 hours. Truthfully, guys, I didn't feel like I was sitting there for 4 hours watching the film. It really did go by pretty quick. And it actually, I was kind of pissed when the disc started to skip, and it was, because I was like, "Fuck!" I'm in the movie, I'm in it now.
Yeah.
And then, but to be honest, I watched it. I thought it was great. I think that's storytelling at its finest, guys. Really, I don't even think in today's world they're making films that can tell a story like that. And of course, I'm not really a big movie person, so I don't watch a whole lot of that, but just in general, just seeing movies that come out in today's world, man, 2001, when they released that Lord of the Rings, I mean, that is quite a film. And I can appreciate a film like that. And I'm really looking forward to watching the other ones. And yeah, it happened. And yeah, good stuff, you guys. Really, it was.
You're
good.
lucky compared to us that watched it in 2001. We had to wait fucking year to watch this.
Yeah, this is true. But you know what? You guys have something that I now wish that I would have had. I wish I would have seen that in theaters.
Well, it's just a matter of time before they come out with it in 3D and shit, right?
Yeah, they were there. Yeah, I will go to that. I will go. I will. I'll do it. Yeah.
Can I make a confession to you guys about 3D films? I did, and this is for my son, 6-year-old's sake. I took him to see Phantom Menace, and no, 3D does not improve that movie in any way.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
That's funny.
The coolest part was probably the scrolling credits at the very beginning and the intro, and that's about it. But that film wasn't meant to be in 3D. They didn't film it in 3D.
No, they didn't.
I agree with you.
So they're adapting
as a Star Wars fan, I agree with you. I still like to see it in theaters because of sound, and it's a different experience watching Star Wars in theaters compared to home. But I agree, 3D doesn't really add to it. It's very simple.
Sorry, I got a question about 3D to both of you guys who have seen it. Did it feel that? Okay, a lot of people saw what was that movie, Clash of the Titans, and they're like, "Oh, the 3D didn't feel like it was meant for that movie." Like, did the 3D at least seem to suit the movie?
Some parts, and yes and no.
It was very subtle.
Yeah.
If anything else, it's not like I also took my son to see Transformers: Dark of the Moon, and the 3D in that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But in this film, it was kind of like, am I really watching this in 3D? It was so subtle that you didn't really feel like it was 3D. Like my 3DS felt more sufficient in 3D than that movie. So
I was kind of hoping for Natalie Portman's boobs to come out of the screen and kind of slap me in the face a little bit, that kind of 3D, but didn't happen. So, but because Jason watched Lord of the Rings, I made a promise. I don't know if you guys remember that promise I made about Lord of the Rings. If he watches Lord of the Rings, I'm going to do something on the podcast.
Yeah, do you guys remember what he said? Nope, they have no idea.
You were supposed to sing.
I was supposed to sing.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful World. So here, Jason, why don't you cue it up?
Copy.
This is for you, Jason.
You got it, bud. I'm looking forward to it.
is for you. This is for All Gen Gamers version, okay? I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue from me to you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful whale. That's right, the All Gen Gamers whale.
Oh my
I
God.
see skies of blue and clouds of white. The bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night. And I think to myself,
What do you think?
what a wonderful whale. Yes, the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also of the face of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies, Serbian babies crying. Watch them grow.
The hell did I get myself
They'll
into?
learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful whale.
Whale.
Yes, yeah. I think to myself, what a wonderful whale. Yes. Thank you guys.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got tears in my eyes.
John's voice is screwed for the rest of the
You know, when I was invited to this podcast, I was like, "Oh, we're going to talk about games," but that never came to my mind. So.
Not here on the show, dude.
Only on
I love how the
Gamer
little
Show.
Serbian baby made its way in there as well.
Beautiful, John. Thank you. Thank you,
you.
John. I
Thank
thought
you.
it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful
I
whale.
fuck up my voice only for you, Jason.
I appreciate
Watch
that,
Lord of the
buddy.
Rings.
Yeah,
So,
it's worth it.
I'm weeping right now like a man. Oh, look at that.
good stuff. All right.
So, oh boy, John, you're singing this like, oh, just hit me that spot, you know?
I can sing at your wedding, dude. If you want, I can be your wedding singer.
I'd say take him up on that.
He's tired.
Hey, you know, Johnny. I did want to say that, since you're engaged now, and things are moving forward. I discussed this with the crew of the All Gen Gamers, and we all pitched in together, and we got you a gift, a little gift.
Oh, okay.
It's basically something that I think you've been wanting for a really long time, but it's basically a blow up sheep.
Oh God!
How did you fucking know? Oh my God!
It's a goat, not a sheep. It's a blow up goat.
Blow up goat.
shit.
I'll take either. I'm not picky. A free gift like that's, the wedding night.
It's a mountain.
She'll be like,
Just a mountain
look at
goat.
me, look at me. And I'll be like, no, I'm sorry.
Too busy.
I'm doing the goat.
Yeah, but congratulations again. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
So what now, gentlemen?
Oh, hey, Pete, I picked up a Vita.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And did you get more than one game, John? Don't disappoint me.
Let's just say I'm living the Vita Loco.
Oh, wow.
No, I only picked up Uncharted actually, and I like it. There's certain point. I think you mentioned it before, but there's certain aspects of the game where like the touchscreen kind of useless. Like the fighting dynamics kind of weird. You have to swipe your finger, and I don't like going to the vines or whatever. You can use the back touch screen, which is kind of useless. I actually end up using the analog stick anyway for that.
Yep.
But overall, I think the graphics are phenomenal. I'm at chapter 10. I don't know how far you are into it.
I don't think I'm that far. To be quite honest, Uncharted has probably gotten the least playtime of all of my my Vita titles, believe it or not. Only because I know what to expect from that game in a way, and the other ones are just, I'm enjoying them a lot more at the moment. I'm leaving Uncharted until the end. I've been playing all the other crazy shit.
I'm finding there's a lot of more story than the previous Uncharted games. Like a lot more story and a lot less action, at least thus far that I've played it.
I've heard the story isn't as impressive,
It's
though.
not. It kind of just dives right into it. It's a prequel, essentially, right? It's supposed to be taking place before the whole other three for the PS3. But I do like the Vita overall. I don't know, Pete, you like the Vita?
I don't really care for it too much.
You don't care for it.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. I was gonna say, they just recently released some free downloadable games that use the AR cards that I didn't even know came with the Vita.
I did that. Yeah, I got the diving one, and there's another one too, the
fireworks one. Yeah, Fantavision 2 for the win.
It's funny how it is. It's funny how it comes packed with those cards, the AR cards, kind of like the 3DS.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. It's such a blatant copy off of the 3DS. But hey, whatever. You know.
But my
That's
biggest rant, I did a review on the system, and I did kind of a rant at the end because you mentioned the Vita, and a lot of people I posted on Facebook. I got the Vita today, whatever, and I had like maybe 50 or 60 comments, or people were like going back and forth. People were like, "Oh, it sucks. It's too expensive," And
so why should it suck if it's too expensive?
Yeah. So here's
just because you can't afford it doesn't mean it's a bad system.
Exactly. And I did an analogy in my video. My analogy is this: you have a Honda, okay, and then you have a Mercedes, right? Both are cars, obviously, and you purchase both cars to get from point A to point B, right? But they're obviously price-wise, they're very different. You look at the Honda compared to the 3DS. It's very reliable. It's affordable. A lot of people can play it, and it's a good, dependable car. You look at like a really nice Mercedes. It's a luxury item. Like you said, Pete, not many people can afford a Vita. Not many people can afford a Mercedes. So, but my point is, not many people like who buy a Honda are complaining about the Mercedes being too expensive. You know what I'm saying? Is that a bad analogy? I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's kind of my thoughts on the whole thing.
I guess in my case, I own both the Mercedes and the Honda.
Yeah,
I'm happy with both. So
it's the thing is also they're both different. Sony. I think Sony's going to the market and they're thinking, look, Nintendo's dominating the handheld market. That's plain and simple, right? I don't think Sony's going into saying, oh, we want to dominate. We want to take a huge chunk out of the share. I think what they're doing is they're segmenting the market and they're saying we're going to focus to the hardcore gamer. And I think that's what they're doing with the Vita. That's my personal opinion. So
I have a Vita as well, and I think one of the coolest things about it is this dual connectivity with the PS3 that I absolutely adore. And what I mean by that is like how you can be on your Vita and have the exact same friends list. And, you could, say you're on there, Pete, on my friends list on PSN. You're playing on the PS3. I can still send you a message.
Now, when I'm playing on the Vita, because I've been wondering this, if I'm playing a Vita game, does it tell you that I'm playing a Vita game?
Yeah, it will have like a controller, or it will have the Vita icon next to your name.
I didn't know that. Yeah, but I love that. I love that cross connectivity, and they've done a great job with it. The only thing I'm a little disappointed, but Sony did say it's coming down the line is PS1 games, PS2 games. You're able to play those on there, but aside from that, I think the Vita's great.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most advanced handheld systems I've ever played. The things is it a perfect system? Absolutely not. There's things I don't like about it. I don't like the fact they took Apple's road and decided to do the battery that you can't take out or exchange out. That shortens the lifespan of the Vita to me. That's stupid. I don't like I'm sure you guys agree, but I don't like the memory card aspect. I think the fact that you have to buy a proprietary Sony memory card, which is like for the gig, it's like $30. Some shit, it's
the price wise, that's not the greatest, but they gotta make their money on accessories. But the one thing I do agree with them on is it combats all the pirates out there, which is something that I don't condone because companies got to make their money, and if people are pirating games on the PSP, the companies are not making money.
Sure, no, I understand that.
And if they found a solution, all power to them. But in my honest opinion, I think the Vita is going to get hacked in no time. It's just within the next year.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. So, but no, I'm really pleased with the purchase. Is it expensive? Yes, but so was the PS3 when it first came out, and that dropped in price. So it's just a matter.
Don't remind me about that.
God, no shit.
That was like what, $600?
$600. Yeah.
Yeah, I paid it $600 for it.
I remember I went in with two other people on our first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna be quite honest here. Out of all the consoles I've ever bought at launch, I was probably the most disappointed with the PS3, only because there was no game selection for so goddamn long after that system came out that, I got tired of Resistance after a while. And not only that, but Jesus, the price, because it's sold out like right away. I couldn't get in the line for that shit like soon enough. I drove by the Best Buy by me, and there were people sitting out in tents, and it was pouring raining out, and they were supposed to get like 20 systems in, and there were like 19 or 20 people in line or something like that. And I'm like, I don't want a PS3 that bad. So I bought mine on eBay from a seller in like Spain or something. And it was so scary because after I bought the system for $600, I guess he expected it to get bid up higher in price. He's like, listen, can you send me an extra $50 so I actually make money on this? Now, they're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But at the time, I guess I guess I didn't, I'm not sure how good PayPal was back then, but I'm like, oh shit, this guy, what is he going to take my $600 and run? He's in Spain. They're crazy over there. So so I sent him the extra $50 and he sent me the system. He didn't send me the receipt with it. So I had him mail me the receipt.
Perfect.
Which he eventually did. Yeah, what's up?
I got a question for you. Did you do massive damage on the giant enemy crab?
It's funny because I didn't buy Genji. I was not spending $60 on Genji. Still haven't bought that game.
I need to get that game just to do
I want to get that game for $5 just to fight the enemy giant crab.
I know.
Do massive accurate battles from Japan. They were fighting giant enemy crabs.
It's historically correct over there.
That's ironic because Jason has crabs. Oh wait, never mind.
Hey,
Sorry,
John, can I download a game here?
He's playing the Vita. He's playing my Vita.
Can I just say he brought the Vita over here, and the first thing I noticed when I held it here is that it is so light.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it bigger than you expected though?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's much bigger than I expected.
That screen is fucking huge, isn't it?
Yeah, I cannot believe. Yeah, it is a great size screen, and you know what? I love the way that it feels. I think it's just really, it's contoured, it's smooth. I mean, wouldn't you guys agree? I just think it feels good.
It does. I already dropped my goddamn Vita.
Did you?
Yeah. Because I was sitting on my bed and I had it like resting on my leg, and I said to myself too, I should not rest this thing on my leg like this. It's gonna fall. Well, what do you know? This damn thing falls off my leg, falls off my bed, hits my desk. And now my brand new Vita's got a nice little nick in it on its like the silver chrome stuff on the sides. And it's so ironic because I've had my PSP since day one. And that thing is in immaculate shape. There's no scratches on the screen because I always took care of it. I always put it in this case when I was done with it. And then within the first couple of goddamn weeks with the Vita, the goddamn thing has a dent or a nick in it. That's unrepairable. I'm kind of pissed.
That sucks. At least you hit the screen or crack the screen.
Yeah,
no
that's what I'm thanking for.
But no, I'm really pleased. I'm really glad that Sony's in the handheld market. I mean, just think, hypothetically speaking, if Nintendo was the only player in the handheld market, take Apple and iOS and all that, Android out of the market, games would be a lot more expensive and games would be not as good quality, in my opinion. So just my point, being thankful that there's another competitor out there. Would you guys agree?
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I just want some more games to play. That's it. The more companies out there, Nintendo is not going to be putting out Uncharted games and shit on the 3DS, obviously.
It's different markets, and
to have that, yeah.
I love my 3DS. I play my 3DS, and I like Mario Kart 7 and Super Mario 3D Land and all that. And I just, I've been playing Resident Evil for it. But there's just games like Pete, you were saying that are just, can you imagine Call of Duty on this? Can you imagine Skyrim on the go? That'd be crazy.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
I would. I'm kind of disappointed, and I'm not. To be honest, I'm not really surprised that Sony didn't do this. But why they didn't do this is, I kind of wish it had. You could connect it to a TV. Because
I'm sure they'll eventually come out.
They have an accessory port. I'm sure it's a matter of time. But the reason they didn't do it is because they want you to buy a PS3 and a Vita, of course. Because this would replace the PS3 essentially.
That is very true, actually. Yeah.
I want to say something about the 3DS. Ask you guys a question too about it. One thing that I've enjoyed with the 3DS, especially the last maybe 2-3 months, and it's greatly improved since I got mine, was the 3DS store. the downloadable store. I mean, there's some great downloadable games on there right now. And
I'm starting
Alex,
to be more and more impressed. Yeah.
I still haven't got my free games I got. We're supposed to get. You guys ever download those?
I was just really easy to do that.
I bought mine after the price drop. I got mine as an anniversary gift from my wife. So.
Is it too late to do that, or?
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, I went and looked through there. I didn't see him.
Yeah. But like the original games on there right now, though, like right now I'm playing a game called Sakura Samurai, which is absolutely fantastic. And then there's Mighty Switch Force, which is this great kind of old style platformer from Way Forward Productions. And those games are, I think you guys would appreciate both of those games.
Magus, have you checked out Mutant Muds?
No, I haven't. How is that?
It's good. You need to check it out. Anybody that's a fan of like old school, like 8-bit style games, this game is so awesome. It reminds me very much of Wario Land on the Virtual Boy, because this one has 3 planes that you transition through. It's a platformer. It's a very basic platformer where you have a gun and you shoot the enemies and you just get from point A to point B. But there are 3 different planes to the game. So there's one plane really up close and like in your face. So you have these giant pixelated characters like all blown up. And then there's a middle plane, and then there's a plane all the way in the back of the level. But when you crank the 3D up, it's pretty damn impressive.
Mutant Muds, huh? I've seen it on there. I just haven't gotten it. I really should. Think you got me sold on that one, Pete.
Check it out. Yeah, it's good. It's challenging enough. It's very simplistic. Nothing crazy to it, but it's very impressive for the 3DS. Something that you can only get the effect of through the 3DS. And have you tried out Pushmo? I haven't tried that game out yet, but I've heard really good things.
Pushmo is really good. Oh God! But Alex and I got in a big argument about it last time we recorded our podcast, because the thing with Pushmo is it's great. I don't know. I kind of lost interest after a while for some reason. I don't. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong.
And essentially, Pushmo, for people that don't know, is Think Catherine. It's a block pushing game, and like you pull these blocks in and out, and essentially you just try and get from point A. They start you off to point B, and you pull these blocks in and out to climb on them and jump across them. And the cool thing is online, like you can play maps that people make, and it's sort of like Picross, like Mario's Picross, where there's a pixelated image that you play on, and that's the playing field. It's a little hard to explain. You really have to watch a video, but Think Catherine simplified onto a handheld.
Yeah. You know what? I would recommend all you guys check out Sakura Samurai. I mean,
is that the one where it's like, it's a one-on-one fighting game? It's third person. It's not first person.
It's a third person. It's not really one-on-one. What it is you're a samurai, right? Basic story, basic rescue the princess type storyline. So nothing special there. What makes it very cool though is there's a lot of RPG elements to it, and you basically move from level to level. And each level you fight, different enemies, and there's different ways in dispatching them. And it's the typical, samurai one hit, one kill type thing going on there. But what they cleverly do is, they mix up, the enemy styles. Like different enemies will have different weapons, and you'll have to avoid them. And your only defense is actually just a dodging. You cannot block. And one thing that the game is very good at, too, is discouraging you from just waving your blade blindly. So if you do that, your blade actually goes dull, and it does less damage and fucks you up, essentially. And there's a village that you can visit too, which has mini games, different supplies, like you could buy daggers, frogs to distract your enemies, whetstones too, so that way if your blade goes dull, you make it sharp again. It's really a great game. There's a lot more to it than what I told you, but if you like something with RPG elements and that has kind of a samurai like atmosphere, I would highly recommend that game.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Nice.
So, Jason.
Yes, sir.
How you enjoying your 3DS?
I love it. I do. I love it. I think it's a great console, great handheld. And John came over last week and let me borrow a couple of games. He let me borrow the Ridge Racer 3D that I played briefly on the launch day of the 3DS. I was over at his house hanging out, and we did a live stream of that. We were playing. So Ridge Racer 3D he let me borrow, so that's awesome. He also let me borrow the Pinball Hall of Fame, the Williams collection, which is really cool.
Now hold on. I forget. Does Ridge Racer on the 3DS have online?
No.
It does not, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was pissed about that. I remember.
Which seems, why would they do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but still, I like it. I think it's a great game. And then Pinball Hall of Fame, Williams Collection, which is really cool, actually, because when I was a kid, I had a friend who owned Black Knight. That's right. That actual pinball. And I used to go over there all the time and play it as a kid. And replaying it on the 3DS, the sound is exactly how it was. The pinball, it looks exactly like it. Just really cool. Really cool to actually play real pins that existed back in the day. Well, they may even still, but
it's cool to tilt the arcade, like to tilt it, you have to shake your yes.
Yeah. I found that out too, and I was doing it the hard way because I moved in my seat, and it was all like danger. I'm like, oh shit, that's how you tilt it. Cool. So yeah, I love it. I'm kind of addicted to Swap Note. Not gonna lie.
Now hold on now, Jason.
Okay.
Because Swap Note is awesome. I have to get you on my... Did I add you on my 3DS friends list yet?
You don't even know. You don't even know.
So I can send you some nice little Swap Notes.
Please do. I get a lot of people sending me Swap Notes, and I'm unlocking shit left and right. Like, oh, now you can attach an audio file, and I'm all like, blah blah blah.
Swap Note? I'm sorry, I'm kind of ignorant when it comes to...
Swap Note is it's an app to where you can send and receive notes. You can just like draw out a note and send it to somebody. You can take a picture and send it. You can record some audio and send it. You can make your image like 3D. You can draw a picture.
But
it's pretty cool.
Isn't that called text messaging?
It's basically like text messaging on the 3DS, except for the fact that you use the stylus and handwrite it out.
It's like a draw a penis in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It says if Mario Paint invaded text messaging.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. The first Swap Note I sent... once I got it and I added everyone in there, the first one I sent out to everybody, Pete, you should have it. As I put on there, I haven't checked it. Really happy to have a 3DS. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I love it, Pete. I do. I think it's a great, and for the price that I got it, and when it went on sale, I think it's great. Great investment. Looking forward to getting on to more of that Mario Kart 7 with you guys.
So how much did you pay for it again, Jason? You mentioned last time.
Yeah, $150. Went on sale for $150.
Yeah, boy.
You remember my GameStopper story? They had no idea, but yeah.
What was it when it was new again? Was it $250?
$250.
Jesus. Okay. What's the Vita at right now? $250?
No, Vita's like what?
It's 250 to 300.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, depending on the 3G is 300 and the Wi-Fi only is 250.
And it's $350 if you bought the first edition bundle.
Correct.
Well, I definitely something I'll just be honest with right now, and I haven't played much of it, but I honestly, guys, I wasn't really too interested in the PS Vita. Just I don't know, I just wasn't really interested. I wasn't really into the PSP too much. I know there's a lot of good gems on there, but I really wasn't too interested in it. But after John just brought over his Vita here, and I've been holding it the whole time, just kind of messing around in the store and looking
stroking it from the
I have,
backside.
I've had it in my pants and everything, and I must say, I really want one. This is awesome.
It's cool. Hey, Jason, you gotta
wait,
fill
hold
me
on.
on.
There's one more thing I gotta remind you, Jason. March 6th, MotorStorm RC comes out.
John, take a look at my computer screen.
I know he's got the logo on right now. Yeah.
I'm already looking at it, Pete. I'm on
What,
it
from
right
MotorStorm?
Yep. I'm reading about it. I've got the trailer going in the background. I'm
Supposedly
watching.
it's very, very good, actually.
And what I'm reading here is that thank God it's also for PSN, so I can download it. And it says
here's the problem, though. There's no multiplayer online.
Don't bullshit me.
I'm not even bullshitting.
Don't. Are you serious?
Serious.
No. It says multiplayer in here.
Yeah, but it's some shitty ass multiplayer.
Pete?
Local only or something. I'm telling you.
Hold on.
Go to the game facts boards. Those trolls never lie. Let me check.
Okay. Yeah, it says here, and on the official blog, 4-player multiplayer on PS3. Settle a score with your friends in 4-person split screen. Oh, please, Lord, no. Let there be a God about this. Please, no.
No, it's not online.
Why would you have a racing game?
Why especially MotorStorm? What the fuck, man? That's irritating. I'm pissed,
Yeah,
Johnny.
I was kind of bummed about that.
I'm pissed.
Well, there's always Wipeout, which is fun.
Now, is that coming out for the Vita too?
Well, here's
it's
the thing: is it says here too, if you download it on either PSN or Vita, it's on both. If you download it on either or, you can you have it for the other console. So if you download it on your PS3,
see, that's cool.
Yeah. See, now that is awesome.
That's a cool thing.
That is cool.
And I really believe like the Vita is, there's apps and, like right now I have the Netflix for it, and you can get Facebook and Twitter, and there's other apps, or there's an app store for it. I really feel like it's going to be essentially evolve into a smart device. Kind of like smart devices like tablets and iPhones, they're evolving into gaming devices. It's all going to be the same. But, if you think about it, the $300 price tag is expensive, but how much is an iPad? How much is an iPhone?
Yeah, but I mean, come on, this thing is, it's not, I tried using it, and I can tell you one thing. When I go away to like PAX and stuff, I am not going to be using my Vita as an iPad compared to my iPad.
Sure.
Price-wise, yes, but it's just not comfortable. The web browser, I don't know.
Well,
I'm not
they
feeling.
They can always patch things, and it's still a baby. So
I just don't know why I'd pay $15 a month for the couple of features that they have on there right now for the web browser and Facebook. I mean, it seems so. They need to drop the price of the 3G service.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the web browser, I'll tell you right now, it sucks. There's no Flash. You can't watch any YouTube videos on it. It's broken. So it needs to, but if like Pete, like if I'm going to go online on the go, I'll either go use my phone or, use another device. So.
Because it doesn't make sense. I mean, if I'm going away and I'm going to pay for a month of 3G, I'm going to do that on my iPad. I'm not going to do that on my Vita.
Yeah, I agree. But
and it's AT&T, right?
Yeah,
it's AT&T. And for people that don't have, an iPad or something, because it is expensive, we understand that. Or if you don't have a phone, the Vita is a great little device. If, you have no other alternative, you pay $15 for 1 month, and it's not god awful. I mean, it's going to get the job done. So it's good to have it as a feature, but I really don't think they should be charging as much as they are.
I got to agree with you, Pete, because I have an iPhone 4S. It's not an iPad, obviously, but, it's still an iPhone. And I really don't see why the 3GS needs, not the 3G. What am I talking about? The
Vita.
Yeah, the Vita. I'm thinking iPhones. Why the fuck am I thinking iPhones? I'm happy with keeping my Vita just in my wireless, range at the moment. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm at home and I want to go online and play some Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, that's perfect. That's all I want to use it for, I don't care about the web browser. I have a laptop and my fucking iPhone for that shit. So that's just how I see it.
Now, do you have Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for it?
Yes, I do.
Now,
yes,
I've heard if you have it for the PS3, I've heard you actually can use a Vita for a controller.
I don't have it for the PS3. I just have it on the Vita.
Yeah.
God knows why anybody would want to do that, though. Jesus.
Well, I guess there's moves and stuff you can do with the touchscreen and stuff, right? Supposedly, I don't know.
I don't know how weird is that. Yeah,
played it, but eventually they're gonna get to the point where you can actually play people on the PS3 through your Vita.
You'd be at such a disadvantage, though. I mean, it's a really cool feature, but the people that I'd imagine, this is just what I'm imagining. I don't play the game anymore, but I would imagine that people that play Marvel vs. Capcom 3 online right now are probably really good, probably using a fight stick. And people that picked up the Vita version, are just going to get their ass handed to them.
So it's cross-platform online?
Yeah, eventually that's the plan.
Well, right. Let's keep it Vita because, I'm kind of happy. I don't want to get my ass handed by some tournament fucking player, so.
I'm sure they'll have rooms or, I don't know how they're going to handle that shit. But.
So Pete, what are the RPGs that are coming up for it?
Final Fantasy 11?
That is rumored.
Wow.
I'm not even kidding. So I forget where I read that.
I got to answer back to Gamesters. When you guys are listening to this podcast right now, I'll have placed something in the forums I've been working on for about a day or so in my spare time, and I dedicate it to Gamester 81.
Oh, it's your pictures of you in Final Fantasy 11?
Absolutely. Nice. So by the time everybody hears this, it'll already be there. So it's dedicated to you. My vacation photos just for you, John.
Thank you, sir. May I have another? No.
But what RPGs are coming out?
Really, right now, the only ones that I can remember off the top of my head, Persona 4 The Golden, which is obviously the one that I'm looking forward to the most. It's sort of like an updated remake of Persona 4 for the Vita. There's a Warrior's Lair game, which is sort of the dungeon crawl hack and slash that everybody's waiting for. The only one that's out right now is the Dungeon Hunter game, which I think is actually my most played Vita game right now, believe it or not. But besides that, I mean, nothing else is really coming.
There's one other one, actually, and it's a port, too. It's Disgaea 3.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a fan of the Disgaea series. Yeah. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think of do you play the Disgaea games, Magus?
I like them. I'm a big SRPG guy. I love strategy role-playing games. I like Disgaea just because it's kind of goofy, but I am more of a, tactics ogre, Final Fantasy Tactics type guy. And I talk about original Final Fantasy Tactics. No little kids going into a school magical storybook bullshit. So,
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Game Boy Advance one, and the first one. Yeah. It's the tactics games are great, but the Disgaea games, the humor is amazing. Like, I love the humor in that game, but the battle system, it's something about that game just screams too overwhelming to me. And the battles just kind of grate on, and just, I don't enjoy it too much. I remember I wanted the PS2 game, the original, when it was the big rave. Everybody wanted it. It was super rare. You couldn't get a copy for under $100. So I finally got one for like $50 used at GameStop, and I was so excited to play it. And I was forcing myself to play it. And when I force myself to play an RPG because I feel like I should be liking it, yeah, that's when I quit. I just couldn't get into it.
What I like I said, I like this guy, but it does have a lot of flaws. It's very, I think, one of the things I don't like about it is they're very grind heavy too. They're overly grind heavy at times. And they have some weird systems as well. Like I remember in the first one where you had to get the approval from some like Senate or some shit, and they would raise your reputation. You know what I'm talking about? It's been a while since.
It's been a while. Yeah. I vaguely remember something like that.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna pass on Disgaea 3 too, though, just because I have it on PS3 and don't need it on the Vita. So
seems kind of weird that they'd come out with Disgaea 4 and then port Disgaea 3. It's kind of strange to me.
Yeah. They did that, around the time I think Disgaea 3 came out. They ported Disgaea 2 to the the PSP like a year later. So. Who knows NIS's or NIS, whatever they're called, thinking. So
but besides that, Johnny, that's about it in terms of announced RPGs.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else coming out either other than those you mentioned.
Oh God, how can I forget? What is the name of it? It's the Vanillaware hack and slash RPG.
Oh, Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma. Oh, no. That's
Dragon's Crown or some shit like that. What the hell is it? Let me look it up. I always forget the name of this game. Let me see. It looks amazing, but it's probably a ways off. Let me see. Dragon's something Vita? Yeah, it is Dragon's Crown. It's like a side-scrolling, beautiful 2D style. Anybody that's familiar with the Muramasa game on the Wii, or Grimoire on the PS2, Odin Spear, take that art style from those games in a new, I think it's up to 4 players online co-op. It's sort of like a throwback to old school beat 'em ups like Golden Axe and all that kind of stuff. So that game looks amazing.
I was reading about that, and how we were talking about Dungeons and Dragons, the arcade game. They said that the lead developer of that game was working on Dragon's Crown.
Oh, okay.
So that's a good thing, because those beat 'em ups are amongst my favorite, I think.
I've been trying to get a copy of those on the Saturn, but they're so freaking expensive. The only way it was ported to the consoles was on the Japanese Sega Saturn, and it comes with the 2 arcade games on there, but it's minimum like $75 to get a copy of that. And it's kind of hard for me to make an investment like that when I've never played them before, but in a way I think I'd kind of like them because I've watched some videos. I don't know. I've heard they're really good. So
they're fantastic. I think they stand out because they did a lot of things that beat 'em ups at that time did not do. Like what they really did was, because I'm a big tabletop gamer, they try to take the basic elements of what Dungeons and Dragons was about and put them in a beat 'em up. Like there's still, what's really cool is there's like a decision making, very mild role playing game, aspect to it. Like at the end of certain levels, you could decide, do you want to go help the villagers or do you want to go after the ogre? Things like that. And I thought that was very cool for a beat 'em up to do. So I think it's pretty unique.
Yeah, one day I'll get around to it. I mean, I have an opportunity to get one right now for $65, but the only problem is the discs apparently have unremovable stickers, and that kind of bothers me. So I think I'm going to pass on that.
That's frustrating. Damn stickers.
Buying vintage games is always a good thing. So
It's tough when they're rentals, though. I hate that when you get a rental.
So I got to cut in. Jason, is my audio okay? Sorry, guys, my audio's been shitty all night, so.
It sounds okay right now, yeah.
Okay. That's what a restart of the computer can do for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Johnny, we
What
were
did
just
I miss?
talking about we were talking about some RPGs on the Vita. The one that we couldn't remember and then it came to us was Dragon's Crown. You remember seeing screenshots of this game? You know, you're familiar with Muramasa and Odin Spear and stuff like that, right?
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So there's one of those coming to the Vita as a 4-player online co-op beat 'em up style game. And that's Dragon's Crown.
Is that side view or?
It's gonna be it's a side view.
Oh,
So
wow,
it's not,
just-
it's not like one plane. There's different you can transit. It's just like a classic beat 'em up. But it's gonna have that Vanillaware touch to it with those amazing visuals.
It'd be nice though if we could get Final Fantasy 11.
No, I'm not. I forget where I heard that, but it's being rumored to be coming. They're thinking of porting it to the Vita.
Well, I think what we need to do in honor of that is sit and talk about Final Fantasy 11 for about an hour and a half.
Sounds
Just to
good.
piss Gamester off.
Oh, God.
let's-
Piss him off.
Tell me, Pete, about your times in Bastock.
So let me explain to Mag.
Oh, the music.
Let me explain. Okay.
I love the Bastock music. Anyway.
These assholes.
Okay, Magus. Okay, this is what happened last episode. Okay, we had an audio question. Some guy called in and asked about MMOs and addictions to MMOs and how I forget the gist of it, but basically,
Right.
he's wondering how to get off an addiction of an MMO because we all know they're.
Oh, shit.
And these guys answer the question. They're like, oh yeah, we used to play Final Fantasy 11. They literally go on for like 40 minutes. And then they start just reminiscing about they start reminiscing about the game. They don't even answer his question. They're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that part where we fought that battle, blah, blah, that music." Like 40 minutes.
I love
Which
that.
it answers this question.
Eventually, I'm like, guys, come on, really? Let's answer the question. And
Jason had already passed away in the chair and was rotting away.
Jason was thinking the same thing I was thinking. He just didn't want to say it.
Right, I left it up to John because I leave
They were
John.
both naked. They were making out. Jesus Christ.
It was just ironic. It was ironic because the question was, how do you get off an MMO addiction? And here these two are going a huge tangent. Didn't even answer the question. They're like, oh yeah, I remember that. And let's go play it again. And it's like, really?
It's because it's because we're still addicted to it in our minds. It has that much of an effect.
Yeah.
John, don't blame me and Pete. You got to blame the game company.
I know. I don't blame you guys at all.
You never 100% get away from the MMO.
Yeah, it's true.
It always
It's a
will
party.
control you.
It's a
Yes.
To be quite
It'll
honest,
always be inside of you.
Yes. Growing.
you see what happened there with me and Johnny? Quite honestly, every time I've had a conversation like that about Final Fantasy in the past, I ended up going back to the game within a week. So, no, it's not going to happen this time. So this will prove that I'm completely over Final Fantasy 11.
It's fun.
No. Bastock's music. You want to hear it again?
Well, it's not so much Bastock, it's Gustaberg,
kidding.
the area outside.
That
Best
area.
Final Fantasy 11 song, yeah.
Final Fantasy 11, and that game is still going. You know what? I would have been with Gamester and stuff. I would probably be dying too, because I would have nothing to be. I would have nothing to add to that conversation.
Exactly. I'm like, what are we? I'm like, it's funny. No, it was all good. Looking back on it, was a funny, good times. But it's all good.
You know what, John, and why I've done the topic in there is because it's like somebody coming back from a vacation.
Right.
And they're showing you all these pictures of their family, and you're like, yeah, okay. They're like, I've only got 150 more, and you're like, yeah. That's why I dedicated it in that respect to you. I think it's they're my vacation pics to Gamester 81.
It's funny, dude. I'll definitely check it out, dude. So
I like
it's all
it.
good.
They're pretty good.
No, we can look back on it and laugh on the situation for sure. No,
Nervous laughing, perhaps. Yeah.
just don't talk about this shit again because I'll fucking kick your ass.
Wouldn't it be fun, Johnny, to go back, though, and get a group of players to create level 1 characters and just go back and play?
No.
Look at this guy.
Come on,
Look
man.
at this guy.
No, I'm
He's a
done.
fucking
Absolutely. Magus is going to join us. Yeah. Okay,
Where's my
Gamester.
hit?
In there.
Give me it.
Let's follow a new petition. We all play fucking fight. No, I'm kidding.
No,
Final Fantasy 11.
11 is a game where I will never, ever make a new character because it is just, it's grating. Wouldn't you agree, Johnny? I mean, you have any memories?
Oh
Start-
fuck! No, I don't want to do all
Jesus.
that.
I'm just kidding.
Let's move on.
He's a fucking
Let's move
drug
on.
pusher.
Jason's favorite Final Fantasy is a Chocobo Racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I like 6.
Uh, mm,
Six,
What
six
now?
is my favorite. I could go on as long as you guys. You know how you talked about Final Fantasy 11 for an hour and a half. I could talk about Final Fantasy 6 for like 3 hours.
oh,
you
me
know?
too. I could do that. I love that game. That game is amazing.
Yeah, talk about how
Okay,
Kev destroyed the world, and and the opera scene and all that shit.
Yeah, it's great. It is a
Oh,
good
the
one.
opposite, the ghost. Yeah, the ghost train. Oh, geez, the rain,
just the
the
16-bit.
opera. Yeah.
16
Mog.
are just awesome.
What gender is Go-Go?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I forget about that. Yeah. Times the ninja. Yeah. Jeez. Anyways.
But how about we get into some of the games we've been playing?
Sure.
How about that?
Magus, what have you been playing lately?
Oh God. Well, I did pick up Devil Survivor 2 today. Which I'm a big Shin Megami fan. I fucking love that series. And as much as I like Persona, I'm a fan of the Devil Survivor games. I bought both the original and overclocked for the 3DS. And then I have Devil Survivor 2, which is really a cool game. It just has a strange a strange thing that reviewers are saying about it. It says it's a more lighthearted game, but yet the first thing that happens is you see the dead corpse of the main character in a pool of blood. I'm like, how is that more lighthearted? Unless you're a morbid fuck or something, but yeah.
That's on the DS, isn't it? Not the 3DS, as we were talking about last podcast.
Yeah, it's the regular DS. I got that
Strange.
one. Been playing Twisted Metal too. I'm really enjoying Twisted Metal.
Hell yeah.
That game is just a great throwback because I'm a Twisted Metal guy from the PS1 days. Mostly 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Twisted Metal, this new one just brought back tons of memories for me. I mean, just kind of using Sweet Tooth and blowing the shit out of your friends and laughing at them.
And right down to the controls too, It's like the controls are just like the originals in many ways.
Exactly. It's just a pure throwback. The way
Now,
I
Are you playing the online only, or have you dabbled in single player? Because I've only played the online.
I've only played online.
I'll have to get down on that sometime. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Magus. P was number 1 ranked in the world online. Number 1.
Well, I was number 1 after the first day of day of release. I was number 1 in everything on the leaderboards, but then it dropped off because I couldn't commit to that. It was fun.
I don't want to fight Pete because I'll lose. Not joking.
I know I would. I'd definitely lose.
but Twisted Metal's great. Really, I think it's might be a little overlooked, but it's still a really great game.
Jason, you need to get on that shit, John. Come on now.
Yeah, I do need to get that. I saw the lots of games review on it, and it looked fun. So the online.
We'll get some team deathmatch going on.
Yeah. I was going to pick up Sonic All-Star Racing 2 this week, and of course, the place I went to didn't have a GameStop. So
hold off for the sequel. That's coming out this year.
Really?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
I want to get the original one so I can play with you guys now. Anyway, Magus, what else have you been playing, man?
What else have I been playing? Let's see. The Sakura Samurai that I was talking about earlier. Let's see. I've been playing, an iPhone game. I've been playing Infinity Blade. Alex has gotten me hooked on Infinity Blade. I really like that game. And, just a lot of old style sword fighting with, just a touchscreen. That's a really cool little game, Infinity Blade. So, from Epic, I believe.
I actually played the arcade version of that, believe it or not. My local Dave & Buster's, actually, they got the arcade version of that, which is essentially a touch TV where you play the game and you swipe your hand across this television screen. The really funny part, though, is the arcade version. When they first put it up, they had 2 screens, so it was actually a 2-player version where one person plays as this huge giant boss and the other person plays as like the main character, and you fight one another. But then the next time I went back, a few weeks later, they had taken down the second screen and only had the 1 screen up, so it was a 1-player game. I guess you just play against the boss. I'm not sure if not enough people were playing it, because when I played it against a friend of mine, he played as the boss, and he said it was like one of the most boring things he had ever done because the boss swings so slow. So, I don't know. It's I had no idea that they had an Infinity Blade arcade version. I found that really interesting.
I didn't know that till you told me.
Yeah.
Infinity Blade is a cool little iPhone game. And then there's something else I was playing. I'm just trying to think. Oh, Dynasty Warriors next. And I think you and HCG probably know this, that I'm not a big Dynasty Warriors fan, but I'm really liking the Vita version of Dynasty Warriors.
So funny you say that, because I just had someone, Games of War, message me on Skype while we were recording. He's like, dude, I'm playing. Let me get his exact quote here so I can quote it correctly. Let's see here. Okay. Pete, Dynasty Warriors next is amazing on the Vita. Woohoo. So, I mean, this game apparently, because
Did he really go woohoo?
He did. He did. With 3 zeros and 4 more after that. So, I've kind of given up on the Dynasty Warriors games. I mean, I've played some of the spin-offs, but the series as a whole, I haven't really. I've kind of given up on it because it is very repetitive, but I'm willing to go back and give it a try. So, tell me, Magus, what makes this one so much different and better?
Well, the thing about this one is it seems a lot. First of all, before I start talking about the touchscreen and stuff, it seems like they just focused a lot more on the tactical aspects. Like, when you're invading, and trying to invade the enemy base, it's more focused on cutting their supply lines as opposed to other Dynasty Warriors, cutting supply lines, stopping the sorcerer bases. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it seems like they focused more on that. And then of course the touchscreen stuff. Now I will admit this stuff could be gimmicky, but like I told Alex when we recorded Gamer Horizon, what makes it not seem gimmicky is the presentation, and I think presentation can make a whole difference in a game. So what it does is there's certain sequences where you will have to rely on the touchscreen, both the back touchscreen and the front touchscreen. So, for example, there will be a sequence when you're in the middle of combat and you'll get ambushed. So you'll have a sequence where these 3 guys will be running spears at you, trying to run your ass through. So basically you use the touchscreen and you have to keep, pressing your finger on the enemy before they stop, before you kill them. Or they kill you, I should say. And then the other thing is there's sequences like that with, arrows. There's, a turret gun sequence in this game, which is pretty cool, that you use the tilting features of the PS Vita, and you aim and just blast the fuck out of enemies. It's really cool. And then there's the duel sequences, which is, and ironically enough, how we just talked about Infinity Blade, it's kind of Infinity Blade light in these sequences. Mm-hmm. But that's not the most prominent use of the touchscreen. The most prominent use is, as you know, in past Dynasty Warriors games, all the characters have some sort of like limit break style, special attack. And in this game, when you use that limit style break attack, you actually have to utilize the touchscreen or, the gyros or gyros or whatever the fuck you want to call them, or the back touchscreen in those sequences.
So tell me though, well, do you feel though that these touch sequences and stuff that are peppered throughout the game, are they really enhancing it, or does it just feel sort of like as they felt forced to have to throw it into the game and you're just dealing with it?
No, not at all. And like I said, it's because of the presentation. First of foremost, the presentation is very cinematic, like the rest of that game is. Second of all, as you stated, Dynasty Warriors game can get very repetitive, and these sequences come at a time where it breaks that repetition. Mm-hmm. Which is nice. Like, for example, you're hacking enemies and then all of a sudden an ambush could happen, or the arrows, you could get attacked by archers and you have to swing your, swipe your finger across the screen, slash arrows in half. So I think what it does is it gives you a break from the monotony of, the typical Dynasty Warriors button mashing. I think that's why that works. So, and again, like I said, with the special attacks, for example, there's this guy I like to use. I don't even know what the fuck his name is, but he uses ice attacks. So basically what you do is when you use his ice attacks, you have to touch the back touch screen, and wherever you touch will hit enemies on the screen where exactly you touch. So it's kind of a targeting type thing. And again, like I said, it breaks the monotony of the button mashing. So
would you say, for someone like me that might be hesitant about picking it up, should I wait until it drops in price, or is it really worth the $40?
I would say it's worth it because, as you know, I hate Dynasty Warriors. I hate that series, except for this one. And Hokuto no Ken, or the Fist of the North Star game, because, you know, I'm a Fist of the North Star fan, but...
Let me ask you real fast, actually. What other Vita games do you have?
I've got that one, Ninja Gaiden Sigma, just because I haven't played Ninja Gaiden in such a long time. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Uncharted, which I haven't even touched, and Rayman Origins. And that
Rayman's good. Have you ever played Rayman before?
I played the original, and I played a little bit of Origins. I got to say, Origins was sadly, overlooked by people. I think Origins is just... There's not too many games on the market like that anymore, you know, that have like, this
whimsical, magical platformer feel, like that throwback, where it's updated enough to make it feel like a fresh experience, but the mechanics of the game, like, it makes you feel like you're back playing a platformer on the Genesis.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it reminds me of, like, you know, not only old Rayman, but you bring up the Genesis, like the Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion games, the Land of Illusion. Those games were amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, this game just kind of brings me back to those days, which, you know, in this day of, you know, Call of Duties, it's missing. So,
which, by the way, Rayman Origins on the consoles is only $20 now. So please, people, you have no more excuses. $20 for Rayman Origins. It's a must buy.
Yeah, go buy it. We need support for more of those games so they can make a sequel to it.
Would be nice.
It would be nice. Would be nice. So yeah, anything else I'm playing? No, I think that's about it for now. I did get Binary Domain, but I haven't touched it yet. But it's kind of funny because Alex keeps texting me during this, and he keeps saying it's absolutely amazing. So kind of pumped up to play it after.
That's what I've been hearing. But to be completely honest, I'm losing interest in shooters more, which is, I guess, is very evident by me not really caring too much about playing Uncharted on the Vita at the moment. But my interest in shooters is waning very fast. And they just, this one introduces a cool mechanic where you only shoot robots and you shoot off their legs and they keep crawling towards you. Like, but I'm so worn out of shooters. The only one that has my attention right now is Unit 13 coming out on the Vita in a few days. And it only has my interest because it's by Zipper and it kind of feels like a SOCOM game and it's pretty interesting. Right. But other than that, like, I need a break from shooting games.
I can completely respect that because I feel the same way. Like, I have stated, I am done with Call of Duty. I'm done with Battlefield. I'm done with all those games. The reason I got Binary Domain was because I'm a fan of the Yakuza games. So, you know, the Yakuza studios came in, and from what Alex is telling me too is we've talked about this on our podcast, is he felt Gears of War 3 was meh. And the reason he felt that was there was no emotional connection to those characters. Well, he's telling me Binary Domain, you know, you have a squad-based shooter, you actually feel emotionally connected to that. And I think that'll make a whole lot of difference because that's my common complaint with shooters, especially Call of Duty. You don't give a shit what happens. You know, you don't give a shit what happens to Soap or any of those fucking characters. I don't. You know, and I think that's why I kind of am disconnected from shooters because they feel cold to me. There's like no heart to them. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but
yeah, and they just flood the market with a whole bunch of shooters too. You know, it's just kind of flooded.
Yeah. They seem cold. They seem very cold-hearted, and it's just trying to be badass. And I mean, you could be badass, but still have a lot of heart to it. Mm-hmm. So.
Like, I'm sure there's a lot of great shooting games out there right now, but just me right now, I'm kind of just enjoying playing stuff other than shooters. Because believe me, I've played my fair share of shooters over the years, online and everything, and I've played a lot of that. But it's just time where I need a break from them at the moment. I'm kind of just enjoying my weird ass games and RPGs and shit right now. So
when are you playing that game for the PSP? That Rocket Paper? What's that game? Cram School.
English Cram School.
There you go. When's that?
Well, I've got something to talk about that, you know, might wet the whistle a little bit coming up here. So,
literally,
gonna wet something.
I want to hear about it when you talk about it.
Well, Magus and I have been talking for a bit here, so how about we pass the baton to Jason?
Sounds good.
Well, 3DS, Mario Kart 7. Been playing to that. Pete, after your recommendation of going to 150 class, has really helped out.
It's a lot more fun to play that way too. You feel like you're
well, I
playing
usually do anyway, but I didn't know that
You don't unlock shit. You have to do.
See, I didn't know that. So I've been doing 150 class, going through there, playing with my man.
Ask Jason, what character are you using?
Yoshi.
All right, good. You're playing top tier. That's good.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
No, any character, you have to play. I'm sorry, but I'm going to give a little hint here for Mario Kart people. You can't use heavy characters, okay? If you play online and you want to actually win a race, you can't be using Donkey Kong and Bowser and Queen Bee. And you want to know why? Because online, when you get knocked off a course or you get hit by an item, which is inevitable, getting hit by an item, you need the acceleration to get back into the fray in the race.
You can't be racing those fat asses.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of races, getting knocked out, especially Rainbow fucking Road. Holy crap, man.
That's my favorite course in the whole game, though. It's pretty cool.
It is a good course. It's just when you get knocked off, you're done.
Yeah, it's true. I just like how it's not just a loop. It's like, point A to the end, which is cool.
Well, Magus, are you talking about the Super Nintendo version or the new version?
Both. I like the new version, but I also like racing on the SNES version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The SNES version, I think, is a little bit. Maybe it's just me being old school, but I think it's a little bit more brutal than the new one.
It is, because there's no borders on that shit.
Yeah, there is.
It's a very hard level. I like it because I just love drifting in that game, and I can drift around the corners in the Super Nintendo Rainbow Road like no tomorrow. And actually, light characters have a huge disadvantage on Rainbow Road because if you get bumped, you go flying off that course.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed that.
Oh yeah. That's cost me a lot of races.
Mm-hmm.
Jason.
Yes.
So Mario Kart. Have you played online yet?
No, I haven't. I've actually been waiting to play with all of you guys, and I went into the the menu to see what it's like, and matchmaking. It started to matchmake me, and then I backed out, and it works just the same as it does on the Wii. It's exactly the same with matchmaking and all that. But yeah, I can't wait. I want to get down on doing some of that, so we should sometime soon. I know you guys already have your schedule of when you guys play, so
not an official schedule. We kind of just every once in a while.
Just make a
usually Holly's the big rallier. She'll be like, let's play Mario Kart. Then we get to play. So
definitely. Yep. Like to get in on that. So, honestly, just been playing that. And then recently, it went on sale a couple days ago, Serious Sam 3, for about $12 on Steam. So I picked that up. And, I enjoy the Serious Sam games. I like the throwback style of them. I like that they're, they're just the old school arcade run and gun type of situation.
Now, if there's anybody out there that has ever played this game I'm going to talk about online, it would be Jason. So let's see. Did you ever play the Serious Sam game on PS2 that had the online?
Yeah.
You and me both. We were probably like one of the only two people playing online.
You know what's really funny, Pete, is back in the day,
we probably played together.
We probably played together because I remember going in there playing like when there was nobody in there.
Yeah, there was like one, like the game come out and there was like one room up.
Yep. Dude, we have probably played in the same room back in the day. Yeah, and I was one of the few people, even in all the gaming world and all my gaming friends back in the day, that had the broadband adapter for the PS2.
Yeah. That's why I was so excited to get this Serious Sam game because, I got SOCOM on the PS2, my first online game, with voice chat. And I wanted any online game I can get my hands on for the PS2. I was so privileged to play this online, but everybody knows how great the Lord of the Rings game, Return of the King, is on PS2. Well, I was able to play that online co-op back in the day, so that was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Well, and another little funny story about that, Pete, is that, did you know that game still is supported online?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Get the hell out.
What is?
I'm serious.
How do you know this,
Lord of the
Jason,
Rings?
and I don't?
Dude, oh my God. Pete, I'm crazy with that PS2 online stuff. Even Flat Out 2 is still supported.
Hold on, because years ago, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I just decided to hook up my PS2 and try out all the games online. Like I booted up Automodelista, which at the time was still supported.
Is it still? Because I have that game.
I think there was a couple of people still freaking playing that piece of shit.
Automodelista.
That's funny.
And wow, I'd love to play that online sometime.
Shit,
actually.
Pete. Yeah,
But you haven't seen the third movie, so spoilers ahead.
Okay, well, either way.
Get watching, Jason.
All right, I got a lot to do. So, but really, that's been about it with the Serious Sam 3, and I love it. I think it's great. I love the arcade style of it. Just the run and gun. But what's even better about it is that it is 16-player co-op. Now, I'm telling you, when you have a game especially like a shooter where it's very fast, high action. Playing it by yourself, that's cool, whatever. But when you can involve your friends and do this co-op stuff, especially in a game that it's fucking insane. And Pete, you've played Serious Sam games, and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
There's just a shit ton of enemies coming at you, and it's just like a turkey shoot. You're just trying to pick all these things off. And I haven't played it with 16 people yet, but I think that would be a freaking hilarious and fun time if I could do it.
That is just on Steam, and how much is it?
Uh,
It was $13, $12.95. It was on sale last week. It was like a midweek madness sale. Goddamn, Steam's gonna kill me. But I'm not sure how much it is retail. I think it's like $19.99 or $29.99.
That would be a lot of fun to get a 16-player co-op game going. It'd probably be an experience unlike any other.
I'm
I've never played that many co-op on any game.
No, I haven't either. That's what I'm saying. And it's easy to set up rooms. I can host them. So I'm totally down for that. If anyone else out there too, if you guys want to do that and get in on that, man, I'm okay with setting up a room and having some fun playing that. So Pete, if you pick that up, if you ever end up picking it up, let me know, because I know I've got Phantom Jess and the Vita Empire and a couple other people that have got it, and we're playing like 2 or 3 player, 4-player co-op right now. It's fun. It's really fun. So should check it out. But that was yesterday and the day before. And then other than that, I really haven't played much. I'm going to steal John's PS Vita here. So I'll be playing that this week. Yeah, but that's really about it, you guys, to be honest. And there's probably shit I've forgotten about. I expect Pete, you to look on my Steam playlist and see what I'm missing, but maybe I'll do that later. So let's pass it on to John. What have you been playing, dude?
I've been playing Uncharted, the Vita, Chapter 10 and that. Still playing Donkey Kong for the Game Boy. I've been playing on the Super Game Boy through the Super Nintendo, and it's actually pretty cool because I don't know if you've ever played the game on that, but this particular game has a really cool layout, like the Donkey Kong arcade. It's really cool. And it was built for that. So playing that, and also been playing, and I know, Johnny, you'll appreciate this. I picked up Alan Wake American Nightmare.
You were streaming that, were you?
I was streaming that. Yeah.
Absolutely. How was that? Compared to first game, yeah.
I can barely hear you, Johnny. Can you?
Is my audio bad?
There you go. That's better.
Okay. Now, how is it compared to the first game?
I like it. I'm only like 2 or 3 chapters and 3 episodes into it right now, and I really enjoy it. I mean, it's $15, 1,200 Microsoft points. It's by Remedy. Is it Remedy who makes it? I think, but it's not. They say it's not a sequel per se, but it's just kind of another chapter. And it's taking place in Arizona this time, not Washington, which is really cool. It's a cool atmosphere. And the graphics are better, Johnny, so I enjoy it. Do you like the first Alan Wake?
I do. I think I'm on the end of chapter 4 right now, yeah.
Okay. You will enjoy this. It's a good one. You still got the same dynamic with the light and the gun. You have to shine them first and you shoot them. And it's kind of interesting. The whole premise is you have this guy who is like a lookalike to Alan, and he's like, Alan's wife, Alice, is no longer in the game, and there's a cool arcade mode where you can play like there's a whole bunch of zombies coming after you, and you have to destroy you have to survive in like 10 minutes, which is kind of a cool feature. And you just like the first one, you collect pages randomly but those pages unlock certain things throughout the game too, which is kind of a cool dynamic. So the thing I don't like about it though is it's not online. You can't play online. Like the arcade mode would be fun if you could play co-op or something like that. That'd be fun. But if you like the first Alan Wake, definitely check this out. It's only $15 on Xbox Live. It just came out last week. There's a really good review by Eric. I'm gonna do a really shameless plug, but Eric did a really good review on it on my website. He typed up a really good, nice review over it. So if you guys are curious.
So I guess is that the future of Alan Wake, downloadable content now?
I think so.
Because remember that was going to be a big series like Shenmue, I think I was talking about before, and now it's just downloadable content. I guess that's the first game.
Yeah, but it's a really good survival horror game.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally enjoy it. So I think I think people who are watching me stream it seem to enjoy it too. But another game I've been playing is another survival horror, is that Resident Evil Revelations for the 3DS, and I'm about 3 chapters into that. I don't know, 4 chapters into that. It's kind of like Alan Wake, Johnny. When you start up the chapter again, it will like previously on, and that's kind of interesting. But
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
But the cool thing about back to Alan Wake, it has like this sounds like the guy from the Twilight Zone, and it's a really
It totally does. I was
Did you
watching
watch
your
the
stream.
stream?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it's a really cool if you like Twilight Zone, there's a whole bunch of horror references and stuff and little things like that. It was just kind of cool. But back to Resident Evil, that game, I need the second analog. I'm not going to play it again until I get that. The controls are broken without it, my personal opinion, because you're walking around the hallway and you can't, like, if you're walking forward, you can't like move right or left real easily. And I just always get attacked by zombies, and it's really frustrating to play it without that second analog stick. So I'm gonna have to pick that up before I continue.
The Circle Pad Pro, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah, the Circle Pad Pro, which is impossible to find right now.
Yeah, I went to my GameStop and they're like, you have to reserve it. And then I reserved it and they're like, we don't know when it's coming in. I'm like, what?
Don't even get me started.
Oh, I have a GameStopper story, kind of.
Oh, cool.
I went to when I picked the game up, Resident Evil at GameStop. I picked it up and I'm like, "Do you have this?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I have it." And he's like, "Let me get it for you." He's like, "We got it new." I'm like, "Okay." So he picks up a case and gets a game, and then he puts a sticker on it. He's like, "Here you go." Like, it's an open case. Like, I'm like, "This isn't new." Like, you just took it out of your case and like it's the last copy. Is that okay? I'm like,
oh, dude,
the last copy bullshit.
They do that
love
every time.
I'm like, no, this is not cool. Like, I'm paying for a new game, and you're just taking a game out. Like, how do I know this hasn't been played? So the guy ended up giving me like $5 off, but still.
They do
You're
that
one
shit.
of the lucky ones. They normally, I don't think they usually give $5 off. Jeez.
Yeah, no, only because I know the guy too. So, but still, bullshit.
Seriously.
I hate that.
Fuck.
You should be like, okay, go
They
into
should
your
be selling it as new if it's an open case. I mean, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Put one out on the shelf, take the game out for display, and in the back, fucking stock all the games that are shrink wrap. Leave them in the back.
Mm-hmm.
When someone wants one, go back there and grab one.
Like, what if you're,
God damn it.
just as an example, what if you're one of those crazy game collectors that likes to hoard sealed games of stuff that you think might be valuable in the future, and you wanted a original sealed copy and not no open shit with a sticker on it?
No, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they've done to me? I went to a GameStop that I normally don't go to, and I bought a game new. Not only did they do that shit, but they put the new game in a sleeve as well, inside the game case.
Yeah, that's just bullshit. Yeah.
That's retarded as fuck.
So that's basically it, Johnny. I'm going to pass the baton to Johnny. What you been playing, buddy?
Well, I should plug a fellow podcast that I was on earlier in the week, and that was a cross-platform podcast. And I know Pete's been on there before. Yes, Pete?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Great guys. It's Alex from Return to Mother Base, Josh, obviously Games of War, Point from Point Blank Games, and the Asian Guy Gamer, 8-Bit Theater. So while I was on there, Pete, it's funny, Josh was bugging me. He's like, dude, you got to play Amalur. I'm like, really? Like, he's like, oh, it's totally your game. You have to get it. You have to get it. And what's the other game by Capcom that we both played that was a quick time event?
Asora's Wrath. Yeah, he's been telling me. Yeah,
ranting about it. So I was like, and I've seen a lot of other positive reviews on it. And I said, well, me and Pete played it, and we didn't like the quick time events. We thought they were, I don't know. Like, we wanted
the
more
demo
out of the
does
game.
not do that game the justice. I realize that. I'm gonna wait until this game is $20 and I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
$20-$30.
I said that to him. So yeah. So while I was on the podcast, he's bugging me. He's like, Kingdoms of Amalur. I'm like, Reckoning or whatever. And I did something. I went and bought it this weekend. And I'm 10 hours in, and my reviews, it's good. My only, you guys will get a kick out of this. 10 hours into the game. This is how I'm playing it. Tell me if this is a good game or not. It's an action RPG, and graphics are stunning. Unbelievably stunning. But the story at first to me doesn't make any sense. Like, it's really convoluted, and I don't even care about it. So I start skipping the story and like fast forwarding through what the characters are saying to me. So yeah, go here, go do this, because here it is. A character will talk to you. they'll tell you where to go. So you just fast forward it. You don't even need that information. Then all of a sudden a circle will appear on your map, the direction to run in. So all I do is fast forward through all the dialogue, run to where I got to get to. I don't even listen to where they tell me to go. I follow the circle. I get there, and what I do is I just stick out, get a lot of healing potions, go into the area, and I just beat the crap out of everything. Keep healing, rinse and repeat. For 10 hours, I've flown through the game. I'm more than halfway through the game already.
I mean, you're playing it like an MMO. Most MMOs, people don't give a crap about the story, and this game kind of resembles an MMO just in a single-player setting, and that's the way you're playing it. If you don't care about the story, why waste your time reading text?
The problem is, good games like Skyrim make you interested in the story, even if you don't want to be interested in it. Like, I run into a town, and there's the town, there's all these people standing there. I'm like, I don't need to talk to them. I just need to go straight. So I just run past everybody. Now, granted, I'm missing, I'm sure, some rich history and I don't give a shit. I really don't care. I'm actually having fun playing it the way I'm playing it. So I will definitely finish the game. And visually, it's very impressive. The music is nice. It's not incredible music. It's nice. It's good background flair. But it's something I didn't have on my horizon. But I forgot that Todd McFarlane did the characters for it. That's why kind of got me into it. I was like, yeah, this kind of game I want right now. And Pete, have you talked about this game? Have I completely missed you saying anything about it?
Oh, we have. You remember that night that I had you guys on there playing Chat, whatever the fuck that game was, with the cats?
Cat game?
Yeah, because I was in the middle of playing Kingdoms of Amalur, and I was reading Joystick at the same time. And then they posted about Chat, so I stopped playing Kingdoms of Amalur and got right the hell on to playing some Chat.
That's so funny, dude.
I'll get Kingdoms of Amalur when it's cheaper. It's another huge RPG, and I want to play other games besides, and I'm sure it's a great game.
I was dying for an RPG. I mean, it was like when Josh was telling me about it, I was like interested, and then I checked some video of it, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm dying for an RPG in a console. I'll take anything. What do you think, Magus, about this?
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys too about that. Alex and I have been talking about RPGs a lot lately, and we've been saying that this year, into April, it's tons of RPGs for the consoles. I mean, you got the new Tales, you have Xenoblade, you have The Witcher coming out, Mass Effect 3. I mean, just tons of RPGs.
That's right. Yeah. Tales of Goddamn Grace's F comes out in 2 weeks.
Correct. Yes, I'm pumped for that.
I'm excited too, to be quite honest.
I've never been a Tales fan, so I'm not. I definitely won't be getting it. I've never been. I played Tales of Destiny in the PS1. I thought it was pretty cool, but I never liked.
You got to try Vesperia. Vesperia on the 360.
Vesperia is the best one, I think.
Yeah.
How's the dub on that though?
It's really good.
Is it really okay?
Yeah, it's good.
It's.
Granted, I'm not claiming to be a huge Tales fanatic here because I think the first Tales game I played was Tales of Vesperia, and that really got my interest in the series. I didn't play Tales of Destiny 1. I didn't play 2. And Tales of Vesperia really took me back as one of the best.
You never played the GameCube version? Remember how hyped up that was?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew I was forgetting one.
Symphonia, was that?
Yeah, Symphonia.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it as much as I
thought.
No,
I couldn't get into that at all.
Vesperia characters just... The characters in Vesperia just gripped me so much.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I'll look for that one then.
Yuri, the main character, he's a badass. The main character of Vesperia, he's just, and he's just a cool character. But if you guys watch one of my newest videos, I basically complete I'm a hardcore Tales fan. I'm probably, the hardest core one in this group, and I own all of them, and I'm thinking of importing some stuff, some of the Japanese only Tales games. So,
that's good. I've always appreciated the fan base of Tales because they're so hardcore into the series, and I've always really appreciated that. But I just knew it wasn't. It's never been in the series for me. Like Ease isn't the series for everybody, but it's the series for me. I always thought Tales was a series for other people, but definitely never for me, type of thing. So.
I like both Tales and Ys, so.
Well, you're better man than me for sure. So
no, but I just like both, I guess.
That's cool.
Ys 7 was vastly overlooked, I thought too. So.
I didn't like the switching system in that, but that's just me. But no, anyways, just back to me finishing off for me. That's it. Like for the RP that for Amalur, Reckoning. I'm 10 hours in, and I'm gonna finish that game just to get a demo finished. And hell, it's so fucking easy. I just run I just run in one direction the whole way, fight some enemies, heal, rinse and repeat. And so it shouldn't be too long for me to get through it. So, Pete, it's on to you.
So I won't talk too much about the Vita because I've been talking about the same games every episode. The only thing I have to add to my Vita adventures is I've played a lot of Dungeon Hunter Alliance. I'm at the end of the game right now, level 33 warrior, and it's good. I mean, I'm really enjoying that game despite it being insanely overpriced. I've also been playing some Wipeout 2048 online because they finally patched the goddamn online on that game, so you can get online. So I've been playing a bit of that with Josh, Games of War.
I have just a few small questions about that.
Mm-hmm.
One, how is it, and would I like it?
I think you would like it. I haven't played a Wipeout game since Wipeout Pure on the PSP, so I never played Wipeout HD on the PS3 or anything like that. But I think it's right up your alley. I mean, what Wipeout games have you played? You played them all or something?
Yeah, I have, except for the one on the PSP.
Okay, so what I've been hearing is this is very similar to the one on PS3. So if you want something like that, apparently it's even cross-platform.
Okay.
So it might even be like the same game. I don't really know.
And then I guess lastly does it run at 60 frames a second? Do you know?
No, it's not 60 frames. The single player, it runs, I don't know the exact frame rate count, but I can tell you it's not 60 frames. It runs really smooth.
Even in single player, it doesn't?
No, single player, it does not run 60.
Okay.
It runs smooth, but it's not 60.
And is multiplayer even slower?
It's slightly slower.
Man, see, that bothers me.
It's definitely playable, but I noticed that at least when I made my jump onto online for the first time, I actually had a hard time at times seeing where I was turning because the frame rate drops enough to notice that it's almost hard to tell where the turns are coming up at times. Now, that might sound like it's broken and bad or anything, but it's playable once you get the grips of the game. It's a lot of fun. So
Okay, cool.
don't let that deter you from playing it because quite honestly, it's...
Sorry to interrupt, but he's just looking at my Vita and he's been like drooling over it the whole episode.
Yeah, I have it right here close by.
It's a powerhouse of a game on the Vita. It's super impressive. So
is it a $40 title?
It is 30.
30.
Yep.
Nice.
So definitely worth picking up.
Cool.
Or at least when I bought it was 30. I don't know if that was a sale or whatnot, but yes, I bought it was 30. I'm pretty sure it's 30.
Oh, that reminds me of another GameStopper story I have too. But go ahead. Sorry.
For the Vita, I also picked up Touch My Katamari, which I have to say is another goddamn Katamari game, and there's nothing wrong with that. I haven't played a Katamari game since Beautiful Katamari on 360, so I've been having an itch to roll around a big giant ball, and apparently this game is it's just as wacky as the old ones, if not even more wacky, because they have a lot of cutscenes and weird story elements to it. It's fairly short. I beat it in like a day, but there's a lot of replayability to it because you go back, try and get new high scores and lockables, all that fun stuff. The touchscreen stuff, you can stretch the ball vertically, horizontally to pick up items in certain... if there's a lot of stuff laid out in a horizontal line, you stretch your Katamari out horizontally and you roll it up that way. If you've played Katamari games in the past and you don't really care for them, this game is not going to change your opinion. And if you've played a Katamari game before, you know exactly what to expect. I enjoy it though. It's a fun game. $30. What the hell? Oh, I finally got this game. I wanted to get it when it first came out, but it came out at the absolute wrong time last year, during the holidays. And that's Atelier Tottori on the PS3. I bought Atelier Rorona on the PS3 and I played a bit of that. I couldn't get completely into it, But I was watching videos of Totori, and this is a Gust RPG. It's got a lot of alchemy in it, fusion, collecting items. It's sort of like, think Harvest Moon meets an RPG, traditional turn-based RPG. You gather materials out in the fields, and there's a time-based system to it, so time passes depending on what you do. If you battle, time passes. Gather stuff, time passes. And you're on a date time schedule. And you synthesize stuff together, you turn it in and get money and rewards and stuff like that. It's exactly the same game as Atelier Rorona. Some returning characters from that game. The gameplay is almost identical from what I can remember. The only thing I've noticed is the graphics in this one are a little bit nicer. It's got a nice little cel-shaded look to it. And I'm enjoying it. I'm about 6 hours into it, but that game's going to have to be put on hold because today was the official release of another RPG that I have not received in the mail yet because my pre-order they're a little bit delayed, but that's for Hyperdimension Neptunia Mark II. I don't know, Magus or Johnny, if you guys are familiar with this game at all.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've heard of them. I've never played. I didn't play the first one, so.
So the first Hyperdimension Neptunia, now please forgive me because I have not played this game, but essentially the story of the game, it's like it's sort of like a comedic play off of the game industry. The game world in the game is actually called Game Industry, just spelt a little bit funny, like instead of the Y on industry, it's an I. And the characters in the Hyperdimension game represented different companies with game developers companies within Japan. So, one character would represent, like, I think it was Sega, something like that, and one would represent NIS and stuff. So it was kind of funny. Each character had their own quirks representing a different game company. That's about all I knew about the story of that game, because supposedly the story didn't really come together quite well in the first one. And as a whole, that game was not really received too well. A lot of things apparently were wrong with it. So I decided to pass on it. And that game is extremely expensive right now for the premium edition. So I don't think I'll be playing the first one. But the second one, same idea, same concept. So there's like 12 or 16 playable characters. It's an RPG, but this time it's not turn-based like the original. It plays similar to Eternal Sonata in that you can move your characters around a set amount, and as you move them, a gauge will deplete. So you can attack, and it'll attack any enemies within your vicinity. So essentially, it's like it's a turn-based action RPG, more so an action RPG with some limitations set in place. So it's not like Tales of Vesperia where you just go like batshit insane on your enemies. It's more of action RPG meets restrictions on how much movement and actions you can do at a time. And there's characters in here that you can play as that apparently represent Falcom, that represent Cave. So, like, let's say you're playing as the character that represents Cave. Everybody knows Cave for their bullet hell shooters. Well, the character, one of her special attacks will actually mimic, like, a boss in a bullet hell shooter where she spits out, like, 1,000,000 bullets. So it's very over the top. It's very comical in terms of that style and that's, take on video game development companies. And Keiji Fune.
Yeah, I want to hear this. I was going to ask you about.
He's a freaking summon or something in this game. I've only watched because I kind of want to be surprised for myself when I play this game. I don't know how he plays into this game, but apparently he's actually.
I won't say because I know.
Okay, don't tell me. But apparently he plays a fairly decent role in this because I've seen him in more than just the battles. His face. They take his face and his profile and everything and put it in this game. One of the characters, I guess it's just one of the characters that can use him. That probably represents, I don't know what she'd represent, Capcom. I don't know, even though he's gone from that now. But she summons him as a sword, as a summon that comes out of the sky and fires a laser out of his mouth. Like this, just picture this.
You already kind of know then, yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen the screenshots, and right then and there, I knew I wanted this game.
Yeah.
But it's just think of crazy stuff like that, so over the top, so different. And there's sort of like a little take on Twitter in the game as well, called like Chirper or some shit. So a lot of the story comes from checking tweets from characters in the game that like talk about what's going on, and it's just very Japanesey, very over the top. Definitely not for everybody, but apparently it's getting some pretty good reviews, like 8 out of 10. And it's apparently a big improvement over the original. So that should be here within the next couple of days, and I'm looking forward to playing that.
PS3 only, correct?
PS3 only.
Holy crap! God damn you, Pete! I have to have you like got me super pumped for this. God damn it! As if I don't have enough fucking games.
This is an RPG for RPG people. You know, like Johnny. This game is for you. Like it just.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you brought it back to my attention.
It's just the funny play off of, you know, RPGs in general, and stuff like this just doesn't really come along too often, and I'm looking forward to it, you know, because RPGs, I mean, how much can they differentiate between each other besides their characters and their story? And this game is just, you know, it takes it in another direction. So
I think, sorry, what turned me off the first game? The first game got really bad reviews.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then so I was like, it's just one of those quirky Japanese RPGs, not for me. But the second one, yeah, geez.
All the reviews so far have been positive, you know, and one of the guys at RPG Fan who said I think it was RPG Fan, the website, or RPG Gamer or something, they gave the first Hyperdimension Neptunia worst RPG of 2011 or whatever the hell it was. And then they're praising this one as, you know, one of the best RPGs so far. So this year. Anyway, I played some more Twisted Metal. Once again, played some more online with two of the cross-platform guys, Asian Guy Gamer and Games of War. And we had a blast on there. We did some unranked deathmatch, and it was just hilarious listening to Josh scream and curse at the game because he was having a bit of a hard time with it. It was fun. That game was such a blast online. And the other game I've been playing is for the PSP. Now, this is the game that kind of relates to English Cram School, because this game is it's the first. Now I'm gonna let you guys guess what kind of game this might be. It's the first, because you know me, I love playing these games. It's the first game of its kind in this genre to make it to the United States. Any guesses?
Dating sim?
Yes, close, actually. Essentially, you're correct. But it's a female. It's a game for females, essentially. Where you're not dating girls, you're dating guys. Now, hold on.
Oh, so for Jason.
I was about to say.
Oh, okay.
Now, hold on to yourself.
I'm still in the dating scene, I guess.
He's
play
single, ready to mingle, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Not hating.
Now, before we get the wrong questions here, this game is called Hakuoki, Demon of the Fleeting Blossom.
I love it.
So, you know, I wanted it because it got one of those limited edition runs in the, you know, with the limited box set with the art book and the soundtrack. This is for the PSP.
Oh, wow.
So this subgenre of games in Japan is actually very popular. I think it's called Otomate, and it's essentially a visual novel. It is not really a game. You don't play this game. You're just reading. You're watching an interactive book, essentially, where you're doing nothing but reading text. There's character portraits. There's still images, and every once in a while you get the option to, you know, a different option to, you know, go with that character or do this or do that. And they're very dramatic choices that actually
do what?
that highly impact the story. But here's the thing. This game, despite being targeted for girls, I found it really interesting because the US has never received a game like this before. I mean, yes, there are games like 999 on the DS and Hotel Dusk, but those are games. You know, there's gameplay elements to them. This is a visual novel made for girls, brought out onto the PSP at the last leg of its life. So this game, it's probably going to become really hard to find later on and quite expensive. So that's one reason I wanted to pick it up.
There's only 14. There's only 14 left online on Amazon, Pete.
It's actually selling quite well. I mean, it seems to be doing pretty decently because it's been selling out on Amazon.
I'm going to be, you know, honest, and I think I speak for a lot of people here. You know, I'm not really surprised that game does really well in Japan.
No, but that's the thing. I mean, I wanted to see what's up with these games because
it's the weirdest shit I've ever heard.
Well, let me just read you a quote from the back of the box here. In Hakuoki, a young woman by the name of Chizuru comes to Kyoto in search for her missing father and soon encounters danger and the Shinsegumi in quick succession. When it becomes clear the Shinsegumi are also searching for her father, Chizuru is put under their protection, but odd things are afoot in Kyoto, possibly even supernatural things. Can Chizuru navigate this maze of moral danger and political intrigue amidst so much mystery and death, and can she find romance?
So basically, it's like, I'm looking for my dad. Oh, you're looking for my dad too? Cool, let's fuck.
But here's the thing.
That's basically
Isn't
what
that how most porn start anyway? I mean, like, this is how most porn
that's how they all start anyway.
But here's the funny thing. All right. The game is rated M for blood, sexual themes, strong language, and violence. But I played the game for a couple hours, and it's so light on like the dating sim elements. It's almost ridiculous. Like, this game is filled with so much like blood, and anybody that's played 999 knows how descriptive they are with their death scenes in that game. Like, one of the characters blows up with a bomb inside of them, and they describe it in such detail. This game has a lot of those same characteristics. The writing is excellent. This was published by Axis. It's developed by Idea Factory, it looks like, too. But the translation in this is really good. It's actually a really heavy story. Like, it's almost hard to believe that this was made for girls to play, because, to be quite honest, I mean, there's so little. Well, little spoiler here, but when she first encounters these samurai guys that take her in, they want to kill her. They're like, we got to kill this bitch, and they curse in this game. They don't say bitch, but they curse. They say fucking everything. The game is not localized. It's not dubbed. They have just the original Japanese tracks. But when they first find her, they want to kill her because she witnessed something that she wasn't supposed to see. So, I mean, it's a pretty dark and deep story. And I'm getting to that point now where you're starting to get relationships with the characters, where different dialogue options will lead to different events with other characters. And it's nothing. I haven't encountered any like sexual scenes yet.
Like
which
Catherine kind of.
Don't
According
worry,
to the
they're
back-
coming. They're coming.
No, I know they are, because on the back of the box there's a hint towards that. But anyway,
A giant penis?
No, I was going to ask you if there's any cock shots in the game.
it's no, it's nothing like that. It's just a very serious. Anybody that's a fan of like old school Japan, like samurai stories and stuff like that, mystery and like war and love, and it's actually very complex because they have an encyclopedia in the game, so the terms will come up that I'll have no freaking clue what the hell they mean. So you have to go to the encyclopedia, look it up. They'll give you a definition of it. And my only complaint with the game so far is, it is what it is. But my only complaint is when these terms come up and you have to go to the encyclopedia, the pause time between loading up the encyclopedia, going to the letter that you need, and reading what it is, it just takes way too goddamn long. But other than that, I mean, it's a visual novel on the PSP. It's like reading a book essentially, just with some music, and the music is not.
So you don't control the game; you just read it.
You do not control the game; it's all reading.
Yeah,
The controls in the game are: you can pause, you can rewind, you can skip back to different chapters. Like, it is a book on your PSP. The only user input that you give, like I said, is sometimes options will come up and it'll say, you choose what you want your character to do. And they are very drastic choices. Like, I'm talking, they can totally change up where the game goes. So it's good. I mean, it's
just get laid, essentially.
I'm not sure yet, I guess
I gotta ask you.
You're gonna get laid.
I gotta ask you, Pete.
Uh-huh.
A visual novel that I've gotten into earlier. A lot of people have heard it. Is Katawa Shoujo. Have you played that?
No, I can't say I've heard of it.
Okay, what it is it's much, it's a visual novel, but what makes it kind of hilarious in a sick and twisted way is basically you're this kid and you're going to tell your girlfriend that that you love her, and then all of a sudden he has like a heart attack and finds out he has a heart disease. So he goes to this camp full of cripple kids. So you have to date cripple girls.
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
and
what is this on? Where do you play this?
PC, and it's for free, and it's legally for free. It was officially translated and everything. There's even a girl with no arms that you could date.
So let me just clarify then. This visual novel thing is, I guess this is the first game to come out on home console. So apart from the PC.
Yeah. There's been a few translated officially on the PC. Katawa Shoujo is one of them. So
That's crazy.
It's strange, yeah. And like any other visual novel, the more mature ones, it ends in a sex sequence and stuff. And but there's a lot of people that like it. I haven't really touched it a whole lot because there's been other stuff that's been on my priority list to play. But I mean, if you're playing that one on the PSP, go for this one, man. It's free anyway, and it's legally free, which is the best part. So,
I mean, to be quite honest, I kind of just like the novelty of having a game like this on the PSP. I'm not sure I'd ever play something like that on the PC.
right.
I mean, in a way, usually when it comes to games nowadays, I don't buy too many games unless for pure collectability reasons. But I can tell you, I have a feeling this game is going to be quite rare in the future because it's so obscure. It's so out there. People would be embarrassed to walk into their GameStop and request this game. And it does not look like Hakuoki. It's Hakuoki. I mean, the cover of it looks like your typical like Japanese RPG. It does not look anything like you would think it would. But it's not for everybody. It's for a very small group of people. And, it's decent. It's a pretty interesting story so far. So it's a pretty hefty price though to pay for something such as this, though. I have to admit, $40. So
yeah, well,
for the limited edition, at least. And lastly, I played a little bit of Mario Kart 7 online because I was at the OKS Operation Kill Screen live stream, and after their podcast was over, they wanted to play some online, so I hopped on there for a couple of games. And lastly, I finally got a new system, quote, new system. Now let's play the guessing game here.
okay. I'll try guess.
All right, so
What generation?
I guess you can say this generation.
Handheld or
It is a handheld.
You got the handy boy.
I did not.
No, I'm just kidding.
the Superboy?
Nope. I'll give you the colors. It's red and black.
Red and black.
It's a variation.
Oh, you got the that 3DS, that special Mario edition.
No, I'm not that crazy.
The Pandora.
No.
Dude, if he got the Pandora before you
I'd be
did,
fucking
I'll fucking
rioting.
jump off a bridge.
I would. Red and black. Is it like a retro system handheld?
No.
What the fuck?
It's this generation.
Mm-hmm.
Handheld?
Yeah, I mean, don't think too hard into it.
Well,
Yeah.
shit, I'm going
PS.
crazy here.
PSP variation?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a God of War.
Yes.
Oh,
nice.
So the reason I got this is because I've had my PSP 1000 for so long, and as much as I love that damn thing, it lacks some features. First of all, it's big, it's heavy as shit. I've gotten to the point now where I was playing Hakuoki, and it's just so uncomfortable to hold that thing for extended periods of time because it's so heavy and bulky compared to other systems. And another thing is it lacks the capability to be played on your TV. And I know, John, you're not a strong advocate of playing PSPs on HD TV because apparently I understand it probably makes the resolution look like shit. But the PSP 1000s don't have that capability. So I got the 3000 so that I can stream PSP games. I can play them on my TV. It's a lot lighter. I got the red and black one because it came with some decent games.
Is there I was thinking about upgrading mine because I have the 1000 model too. Is it worth getting?
I would say so. If you can get a 3000 for a decent price, it's like.
What's the difference? Okay, screens are bigger.
No.
No?
Screens are the same size, but
Okay.
just the weight. There's a lot of weight lifted off the thing, and it's a little bit thinner. But I have to say, I mean, I've used the PSP 1000 for so long. It's a big improvement, and you can definitely tell. But it depends what price you can get it at. Is it worth $100 upgrade? Probably not. Is it worth a $60, $80 upgrade?
Yeah.
I'd say so if you use your PSP a lot. But for me, I can justify it because I stream games, and I want to stream some PSP games. And in order to do that, I need the component cables hooking into the PSP and hook it up to my TV and stream it that way. So there's a lot of great PSP games that want to stream for some people. So, and the only game I've tried out on the damn thing so far is Harvest Moon: Hero of Leaf Valley for the PSP. I just had that Harvest Moon kick lately. I've been collecting the Harvest Moon plushes from the pre-orders and shit. So far I've got the duck, the alpaca, thanks to Quick Freeze. I've got the dog. I've got the cute little cow. And what was the other one I got? And the sheep, I think. I forget. But anyway, yeah. Harvest Moon crazy over here lately. And that's it for me.
All right, guys. Well, I think we've gone like quite a long time, almost over 2 hours.
Definitely.
So let's wrap it up. But real quick announcement, Pete, regarding the tournament. You want to mention that briefly. So we're to the finals in the All Gen Gamers tournament battle. And of course, John gets me at the... I had it up before too. We're to the finals, and some shit Pete's in line for beat out Gary's cat in the end. The battle went on for just over 2 weeks, like 15 days, I think. But that's what I'm doing for the semifinals. And let me get the exact number for you guys here. But we're in the finals right now, so it's the whale versus some shit Pete's in line for.
It's an epic battle.
Is that
so last battle, Gary's cat lost 62 votes to some shit's 76 votes. So in the end, it was actually pretty close. But right now, and the funny thing is when this battle first went up, it was really one-sided. Some shit was winning like 3-1. You know, I was up 24 votes to the whale's 12 votes at one point, I think. But just before when I checked, the whale was actually up a couple of votes. And now when I check again,
battle.
I'm up, some shit's up a couple of votes now. So as of right now, it's 42 votes, some shit, to the whale's 36 votes. Mm-hmm. So this battle is taking place for 2 weeks. So those of you that are listening, you have plenty of time to get on the forums to decide the victor of the first annual All Gen Gamers tournament battle.
Nice.
I actually didn't think the whale would be behind, to be quite honest, but
I'm a little surprised myself. But
apparently people, according to the comments, some people just love that. I'll be in line for that shit, whatever. Hey.
And if anybody actually wants to see Pete in line for some shit, watch my new outtakes video. I caught him and Jason. I said it on the last one. Did you think that's what it was going to be, Pete? Were you surprised, man?
What do you mean? What, in the outtakes, you mean?
Yeah, that you were going to be in there in that context.
I was wondering. I forgot you even recorded me there, but I remember you recorded me. And I'm like, what the hell is he going to use this for?
I forgot too until I saw it. I was like, oh shit, that's right. He fucking come around the corner with his big ass camera. There he is.
That's funny.
Got him in the lineup for Battlefield 3. That was fantastic.
Too funny.
Yeah. Good shit. So, Magus, thank you so much, and definitely tell everybody what your show is again.
Oh yeah, my show on YouTube or my channel is youtube.com/user/Magus1. Usually there I talk about gaming. I talk about a lot of other stuff too, like anime, films, rant about stupid shit like people who can't fucking drive and don't need driver's licenses, and just various things. It's and you and Pete know this. There's a wide variety of stuff on it. So
definitely is.
So, but my main passion is gaming, so that's what I really talk about on there. Yeah. So, and then
I always like your rants. Absolutely, I always tune into them. I always watch every one of them you do. So it's really great stuff.
I got one coming up about the double standards of the mainstream gaming media, which is, I think, going to be fun to do. So, and then if you don't mind, if I plug the Gamer Horizon podcast,
sure,
please do. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been gaining a lot of momentum. I think we're already up to. We've only been doing this for a month, and we already have like 270 subscribers to the podcast. And it's a podcast I do with my friend Alex, like I said at the beginning of this podcast. And essentially, it's just a pure gaming podcast. And the thing about it that I like the most is Alex and I aren't particularly nice to each other. Sometimes we're like Siskel and Ebert, kind of tension going there. Like the first episode, we argue about Final Fantasy 13 pretty hardcore on that shit. Pretty hardcore on Final Fantasy 13. And then we got into about Sakura Samurai in the newest episode. So, I mean, of all things, that some downloadable game. So, yeah, it's just go to www.gamerhorizon.com, and we're on iTunes as well, so you could check us out there. And it's an awesome podcast. So,
Nice,
very
dude.
cool.
I'll definitely tune into it. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh hell yeah! You got I will maybe have you on ours, or down the line, and
Cool.
each of you guys. And I had a blast. I mean, I love talking to you guys, and it was just fun hearing all the, people watching Lord of the Rings for the first time, and and
I know, how's that possible, eh? I know.
and dreading talk. You guys dreading more talk about Final Fantasy 11, and it was just awesome.
Wait,
And congratulations again, HCG.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
man,
Absolutely.
awesome.
real fast, because I don't want fans to get angry. John, if it's a fast story, you had one more GameStopper story apparently.
I'll save it for next episode.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll have something to look forward to.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Be listening to it, because your last GameStop story was just amazing. So
Thanks, man.
We always have some on here. It's
Yeah,
funny.
totally.
Jason's got the best ones.
He
so.
does. It's his deal. So, right on. Cool, guys. Thanks.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks,
You guys have a
Faggot.
great night.
All right.
thanks.
All right.